This is the epicenter of audio frequency entertainment.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Can't get enough of it.
Oh, yeah. You guys are the best.
Heffron and Reep.
I love you, love you, love you.
The Heffron and Reep Show.
Hello, and thank you for listening to another awesome episode of the Heffron and Reep Show. I am 50% of the Heffron and Reep Show. I'm the Reep part, the caboose, sitting right here in front of me, the man with the Detroit hat, John Heffron. What's up, buddy?
You know, always helps when you guys show up and see us live. So we have some dates. I actually, depending on when you're listening to this, I actually get to be home for a full month. It's the first time in 23 years that I'm actually home and not on the road for a big chunk.
What are you gonna do with all that free time?
I'm gonna try to cure cancer.
Oh, that's a good start.
I'm gonna try to maybe lose 5 pounds. But that's it.
Cool.
But I have some dates that I want to give, and I think I'll just give your dates because maybe it's, you know when you plug yourself, it always seems kind of needy.
Yeah.
When you're like, hey guys, come and see me. Not you, but when comics do that.
Just in general.
So how about I just do this,
please,
John Reep?
plug
How about
my
I
dates.
just tell you, everybody, please go see John Reep May 10th. He'll be at the in Marin, North Carolina, at Swamp Fox.
Yeah.
That's some kind of crazy code. I don't know what any of that means.
That is right next to Hickory. It's about 45 minutes outside of Hickory, so I'm expecting a big turnout there. It's sort of like a little homecoming.
All right, and May, now let's kick it back to Heffron.
You want me to read yours?
There's just 2 ones. I'll do
All
it.
right.
Listen, I'm needy. I need you to show up. If you live in the Kansas City area, May 2nd through the 5th, I'll be at the Improv. Then May 16th through the 18th, you can check me out at the Hot Atlanta Punchline. But more importantly, you can go to dates if it's 2045 right now and you're hearing this podcast. Hello from the future.
Yes.
But you can go check out.
How about that new iPhone?
Yeah, pretty crazy, hell. You can go check out all of our dates at heffronandreep.com. Click on the show, and you'll see where we are, and it's up to date. And we always love it when you show up at our shows and you come over to us and go, hey, this is the podcast.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
So what are we doing? We're going to do an encore presentation, right?
Do an encore presentation with our good friend Ari Shaffir.
That's right. Ari came to the house. We called this a mashup because Ari has his own podcast called, what was it called?
Skeptic Tank.
The Skeptic Tank. So this is what we did, a mashup. We recorded one podcast, and we let him have it, and we had it, and he aired it on Skeptic Tank, and we aired it for you today, right now. It's actually, this is when we were called Last Podcasting. So this is an encore presentation of that. Now it's Heffron and Reep, and here you go, another awesome episode with Ari Shaffir. Check it out.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ari Shaffir Skeptic Tank. Today, my guests are John Heffron and John Reep.
Whoa. Skeptic. No. You're.
What?
This is the Last Podcasting with John Heffron and John Reep. You're at my house.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, we're doing your show?
Yeah, you're doing my show.
But I think it's okay that we combine them because we're actually it's greener that way.
It's greener?
If
it's
2 podcasts on one, it's less energy.
Mashup.
So perfect.
I'm
We can do this.
and I know it. Well, this is proof that
Wasn't this
comedians
like old-
are lazy.
Oh, yeah.
That we're not going to do 2 separate podcasts.
You go on mine.
No, we'll do one and we'll split it.
Different fan base.
Yeah, we just saved ourselves like 4 hours of driving in Los Angeles by
That's true.
deciding let's do each other's and the same thing.
Yeah.
It's it's like carpooling.
The only reason we're here is because you're central.
Yeah,
Right.
it's the equivalent of the
carpool
passenger-
lane.
the carpooling. We're
HOV
we're
lane.
Yes.
cooling.
We're pod cooling. I like that.
Whatever it is.
I used to think the HOV lane meant people could only drive there if you were carrying dangerous materials.
Really?
It just looked like that. I don't know
High
why.
occupancy. Yeah. No, this is like I'm in the middle of you guys. So you're in like West Hollywood,
Yeah.
and you're in
Calabasas,
Woodland
type
Hills.
that
or
side.
something.
You live there. Isn't that boring as fuck?
You know what? Yeah, and I don't realize. I went to Hollywood recently to do a set, and I saw the life and the people around and parking, and people were going into restaurants, and I saw that.
Yeah.
And then I live where, people my age that are married live. So it's a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
So it's boring, but
Is there a local like bar or restaurant or place that you like to go out that's close by your house?
that's assuming I go out with my wife and we do that type of stuff.
You,
No.
you guys never go out together?
Man, I know it's going to sound crap very rarely.
Yeah.
I'm home Mondays and Tuesdays, and she works down in Irvine, which is in wherever you're listening to this from. Imagine driving 700 miles away and having it take 14 days to get there. That's the equivalent of
Yeah, it's annoying as fuck. At certain hours, you must be like, nah, I'm not going.
Yeah, so she'll come back from that. So she very rarely. Although last night we had game night, which is never done. She's really into like playing games, and she's like, I just want to play a board game, and I'm like,
Payday?
no.
Did you play Payday? That's my favorite game.
Well,
Payday.
Yeah,
I've never.
So there's a candy bar.
Yeah, it's my favorite candy bar too. Actually, you know what? I just realized the Jew connotations to that. But I didn't realize how terrible that
I forgot
was.
what Payday is. What is that?
It was a weird board game. Not everybody had it. It was Milton Bradley.
Yeah, I remember it. I just don't remember what.
I barely remember it. Also,
Oh, that's gonna kill me. Life was the one you spend
Life
the
was
green
great.
thing.
That was a long game though.
Life was long.
Never finished the game
Monopoly
of Life
was
or
long.
Monopoly.
Monopoly was
Like
long.
I've never finished a game of Monopoly.
Scrabble was long.
Was Payday like a
I remember
like
what the box
a dumbed down
looks like.
version of Monopoly?
No, you had to like earn a living and like get a raise and shit. You can get fired.
Okay.
It was a little different.
When's the last time you played it?
Probably just the other decade.
Just the other decade.
The other 80s.
No, so
Couple decades ago.
your game night, you guys don't play Payday.
Well, I said no, I didn't want to play, and then I was like, okay, I'm kind of being a douche. Why did I just say no?
Yeah.
Like she asked me to play a board game, and I was like, no, I'm gonna watch
No?
TV. No, yeah, because I was like, okay, you
Did
eventually
say,
have to go.
I don't feel like it, or just no.
I just honestly, and then I was like, okay, I'm being kind of a dick. Why don't I just play a game? Like, why did I say no immediately?
Yeah.
So then I went and got Rummy Cube. Do you remember that game?
Rummy Cub.
Rummy.
Yeah.
It's good because you don't have to shuffle. You just throw all the little tablets on the
Yeah, it's tiles.
thing in
It's like-
tiles,
it's
and
like
you
dice,
mess
but-
it so it's nice.
Oh, I've never played that.
But then my wife had all these
You gotta
different
make, like,
games. Like, I'm
runs
like,
of-
my
runs of
family didn't play
sixes,
that way.
Runs of like 6, 7, 8 of the same suit.
like a
kinda
card-
It's
it's like
kind
a
of like
card
card game,
game?
but with dice instead.
Oh.
Or yeah, it was really fun. But she had these extra versions to play. Like she's like, no, as long as there's 3 tiles, you can move a tile. I'm like, I've never played that version.
Yeah.
And then it became into whose family was better because like no, at the end, the one thing I realized after we got done is my entire life, I don't think there's anything sucks less than putting away a game.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
I can't think of anything else like
Packing it back up, making
it's-
sure all the parts are
You just
still
shove
there.
it in. You're like, can I close the top? No.
Yeah.
Shove it in again. Let's reorganize.
That's the good thing about chess is those games last forever. You never have to put it up; it just stays out.
Oh yeah.
Like
It's
those
classy for no
ongoing
reason.
games. I guess I don't play chess, so
No.
I played it in 7th grade and I was halfway decent, and
I
I've
have
lost
played
it.
chess before, but I don't have any like strategy or anything.
No, I get killed.
Yeah.
If anyone knew halfway what they were doing, I would get
I was
killed.
good probably when you were good. When you were like, you know that move where you could like castle, where you could like switch your king and your castle.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
when
yeah.
you pull that out, you're like, oh, I bet you didn't see this coming.
This guy's
Expert
good.
level.
I don't even know which way the guys move.
You know what I play now all the time on my iPad when I'm traveling is backgammon. I'm addicted to backgammon.
We have a
yeah,
backgammon.
I love it.
Do you play it?
Shishbesh.
Shishbash.
Shishbesh, that's what they call it in Israel.
Ah,
I played a guy for free
We should play
cab
sometime.
fare once.
no what? Really?
Yeah, in Israel, we were driving. We were in Tel Aviv, away from. We were staying in Jerusalem, but we were in Tel Aviv, like pretty much the width of the country away.
Uh-huh.
And but it's a beach place, and we're like, listen, here's the deal. We're gonna stay at a hostel. Let's play this guy for cab fare from whatever club we went to home. It's like, listen, if we fucking win this, we can afford a hotel tonight. If we lose, we're sleeping on the beach. And they're like, Ari, because we got no discussion with the cab driver about it.
Yeah.
He goes, I'll play you for the cab fare right now. We're like, do you guys want to do it? What's the situation? It was like 4 of us.
Was it just you versus him?
Just me versus him.
No one else could chime in and help?
Best of 3.
Okay.
Do you think
And
we could
if
make
you
it-
won?
And I won, yeah.
How many 2 out of 3? Or did you just smoke him?
No, I think we split, and then I won the 3rd one.
Nice.
I played backgammon when you think we could make it cross country if we did that? We started in Los Angeles and just started playing dudes games and had to make it to New York.
And you win money if you.
You just got to gamble
For cab fare,
You
the
have to
whole way
gamble
across
your
the
way
country.
across the country.
No, I think
For
we would
hotel.
go
I just
broke.
invent a reality
I think
show.
we would go broke.
Yeah. Maybe
No,
sponsored by Parker Brothers or whatever.
If it was like you win, you get to stay at a hotel. You lose, you got to camp outside.
And just like
yeah, then you can make it. But
But I would only know backgammon or checkers. That's about
I've
it.
played backgammon since I was a little kid. We had a backgammon set that I found. I didn't know we had a game closet. There's a closet in my house. Just open it up for gay jokes that I haven't opened. And I didn't realize there was like every game ever.
Yeah.
I've lived in this house like 5 years. I've no reason to ever go into open that door for anything. and there's games in there, and we have a backgammon set, but we choose rummy cube over backgammon. We should play. Is that an old guy thing?
I don't know.
No, it's great. It's great. You can swap in and out because there's so much luck too.
No, a lot of luck is involved.
I know there's a lot
with
of
the dice.
Poker players play
Do
backgammon.
you use the cube? Do you double?
Yeah, when you're gambling, you use the cube.
Yeah.
Then it gets fucking nice.
Yeah, I play the computer all the time, and I put it on expert level. I win about most of the time.
Sometimes you got to know. It's like, don't be cocky. Like, nope, I can't. I'm not accepting your double.
This game, I'm going to attack any fucking piece you've got wide open. I'm just going to jump on it.
Backgammon just seems like something that, like, when one day you are 70 sitting in a park because really nobody's coming looking for you anymore about anything, that's something you could play.
Pass the time. Talk.
Or when you're at the Sunnyvale rest home, they might have a backgammon board.
I'm so happy you guys play. I don't know anyone else who plays backgammon.
I love it. I forgot about this. Me and Ami Butler used to have a crown that we would pass back and forth to each other.
A backgammon crown?
Yes, that we made out of tinfoil and cardboard. And if you get the crown, you own it.
It's your crown.
Yeah, but someone has to. This is what the deal was. If they beat you, I bet it was 5 out of 9 or whatever it was, 6 out of 11, whatever you had to win them.
Right.
You get a chance to win the crown, and then you have to give the guy a chance to win it back or something.
Yeah.
Like that day.
So how long did that last?
Years and years. And every time we saw each other, we're like, let's play for the crown.
Where's the crown?
It's at Ami's house right now.
God damn it! You got to get that crown back.
I got to get that back.
Let's practice.
Maybe we can
Now that I remembered it, it's the only thing I care about.
We need to do a
Could
video.
you challenge him? When was the last time you played him for the crown?
It's been a while. I should. He lives in New York. I'll definitely see him again.
I'll tell you what. Let's start our own crown.
Text him right now and to go, I'm getting the crown back. Just jump in, say you want it back. And now you're going to be forced. You're going to be forced to
Where does he live?
practice.
New York.
And then you practice on us.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
then we'll get you in shape like Rocky and play the Survivor song.
I got a
that's
board.
good.
I could
That's
bring it
good.
down here. Yeah, we'll do a montage of you like just
Getting
beating
ready.
me and John.
Yeah, and then we'll send you off and see what happens. And you're not allowed to have cab money back. You got to bet him $600. What would get you back in JetBlue from New York to
5 get you back, right? Straight flight from JFK to LAX.
500?
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Maybe we sponsor Ari. We throw in a couple $100
To get the crown back.
to only get the money to come back. And the deal is Ari could be stuck in New York if he loses because he's got to give
Forever?
that
Yeah, you got to
dude-
figure out how to get back on your own.
That
Yeah.
was the plan when I left the French and Painter. We went to Tijuana, and he had ratted me out for putting shit on Bobby Lee's car that time. So my plan was to leave him in San Diego, but I was trying to steal his wallet so that he wouldn't have any means of getting back.
I had that happen to me.
I couldn't end up getting the wallet. I tried, like we were going to Tijuana to do
That would be
bad stuff.
horrible.
Yeah, and I was like, we should leave our wallets in my car
Yeah.
so that we don't get robbed.
Right.
But then as soon as he got back in the car, he grabbed his wallet.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I had a comic do that to me and another comic. We did a college tour with him where it was called Crack Me Up, and you go to college campuses. I was about 19.
Yeah.
The college kids could win $25 if they didn't laugh, and if they laughed, they got nothing. So you'd have to call up random college kids, sit them in a chair, go behind a curtain, come out, and they'd have to not laugh for.
It's like Make Me Laugh.
It's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Super
but it
Dave,
was a,
remember him?
Yeah, well, yeah. I
He
remember
used to
Super
go
Dave.
on it. Was
he
he
did
on
that?
Super Make Me Laugh? No.
A lot of people on Make Me Laugh on Comedy
His
Central.
deal was he would go on like, it might have been Carson, but it was probably Letterman. And he was like, yeah, tell me any joke, I won't laugh. And the people would tell him the best jokes, and everyone would be cracking with the audience, and he would just stare cold-faced.
I don't think I've ever seen that guy laugh at anything.
Super Dave?
Yeah.
He doesn't. He had the straight-faced
that's what makes him
thing.
hilarious.
I learned how to play backgammon from the first roommate I had in L.A. when I moved out here. It's a guy named Joe Stevens. Who
Really?
Was, yeah, he was an actor, but he was a crazy son of a bitch. Like, he was hard of hearing a little bit.
Yeah.
And he got mad at, like, remote controls for not working, would throw them, and then, like...
I love people like that.
The craziest
Roll it,
story,
man.
this is great, man. Jeff Richards was on SNL, right?
Yeah.
And I was road dogging a lot. He goes, hey, man, do you mind if I crash in your room for like a couple days? It turned into like a week.
Yeah.
So
While he was visiting because he didn't have an apartment?
Right.
Okay.
I said, yeah, I think that should be fine. Let me talk to my roommate about it. And I told Joe about it. And Joe was excited because, it's a guy
SNL?
from SNL. It's
Oh,
gonna,
okay.
maybe I could rub some elbows or whatever. And so he and I wasn't there. And I let Jeff use my car and everything. And, when I got back, the car looked like a tornado hit it.
It's the worst.
You know.
Like, just to turn everything nice.
Dude, I had a notepad. This is how geeky I was. In my Suzuki Sidekick, I had one of those little notepads that you could stick to the.
Oh, yeah.
And
So you could write
I get a
stuff
call.
down.
I just write something down real quick.
That's when you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, and that was he got tired of that. Like he just ripped it and threw it in the
Richards?
Jeff. Yeah, he just threw it down. It was in the floorboard when I got my car back
put
with
it back
newspapers and burger wrappers and shit.
What a dick.
And
I
so
love it.
it's like whatever, and then but the worst part was what he did to Joe, because
Yeah.
Joe wanted to talk and hang out with him because, it was a guy from SNL and stuff. But Jeff was different hours and stuff, and come in at all hours of the night. And he'd be watching porn at like 2 in the morning and turn it up to volume 10 and like joking here. He's like, turn that shit off. I'm trying to sleep. And they got into a big argument or something, via the phone. They never actually ran into each other.
What do you mean via the phone?
Like Joe had his number.
So he called him from in his room?
So, yeah.
Asshole.
Maybe there was a couple of conversations, but like never, not many times they would run into each other,
Okay.
But the best was Joe left this long voicemail after he had enough of Jeff.
Yeah.
This was all while I was gone. I wasn't even around for any of this. But Jeff let me listen to the voicemail later, and it's fucking hilarious.
What is that?
He goes, listen here, you motherfucker. You been here a goddamn week. You're in there. You're in John's room. You're jacking off at 2 in the morning, louder than hell. I can't sleep. I had to go to sleep doctor. I'm on all kinds of pills for insomnia, and you ain't so much as bought me a goddamn cheeseburger. That's it, man. I've had enough of you. You got to get the hell out of here, all right? Bicycle. He said,
he signed up.
Yeah. That's where I got that from. A lot of people, I say bicycle a lot.
Yeah, I get
so
that a
people
lot.
always ask me, like, where did that come from? It came from my first roommate, Joe
Stevens.
Stevens. Yeah.
The story I was telling, when we did that tour, we're in Memphis, Tennessee, and we had a rule that instead of going mileage, we put like 30,000 miles on this rent-a-van.
Yeah.
You had to pay $20 for gas, not FTE. Just when it was your turn to drive, you had to pay $20, and then we'd split a hotel room in between nights where we didn't have shows, and you were on a rotation on who slept on the floor. So a guy got a bed, another guy got in a bed, one guy slept on the floor. So we had kind of a system so nobody ever got screwed.
Yeah.
Well, the comic we were working with, he started going, hey, I need to borrow $20 for gas, and give him $20 gas, and he put $12 in for gas and buy food for the remaining. So, I know it sounds like you're nickel and diamond, but when you're broke as shit, and you start to wreck the thing, and then we got to a hotel, and I go, oh, this floor looks okay for you, and he's like, I'm not sleeping on the floor. I go, well, we pay for the room, you're sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
That's always been the thing. We don't have any of our stuff, right? So we get out of the van, we're stretching. Me and this Pat Francis guy go in to check in. Neither of us had our wallets. We see the van getting on the freeway in Memphis, Tennessee, and heading north to Chicago or whatever the north. The guy leaves us in Memphis, Tennessee, in front of this shit hotel.
Oh, my God.
With no wallet, no whatever.
Whoa.
So we're calling this John Yoder guy who books us.
Yeah.
We're like,
I know Yoder.
I know Yoder.
We're like, Jason just left us. He left us in Memphis. Well, he'll be back. 5 hours later, we're still now just sitting on the curb.
You don't even have a room to check into.
No, we have nothing.
And
We
you
have
didn't
no
have a wallet
ID,
to,
no
like, get-
wallets,
You're just
no
standing
nothing.
So they're like,
there.
no, you can't check
No,
in with
we're
them.
homeless guys. We're homeless guys. We call him Yoder, and he's like, we talked to him. He's on his way back to Milwaukee. We're like, what are we supposed to do? And John Yoder, this guy, he's like, I don't know. You guys got to just, we'll have to. Can you make it? No. He goes, can you make it to tomorrow's show? That's because all they care about.
Yeah,
We have
exactly.
nothing. We don't have money. We don't have a van. We don't. He's like,
guy never gave
so
me-
you guys can't make it? No, we can't.
Come on, don't
Well,
put this
we
on us
can't.
completely.
We can't. And now this sounds dumb, but this is no one. We
No one
didn't
had cell
have
phones,
cell
right?
phones.
Yeah.
No, or you didn't have a laptop to suddenly
Right.
figure out stuff. It was old
Yeah.
school. So I think they had the Western Union us money, and then we had to jump on a train.
Oh, my God.
And it was 17-hour train ride to Chicago. And then we had to get to this guy's Pat's house, jump in the car, drive up to Milwaukee where this dude was living.
It was his van, I take
No,
it.
had all your
it was
stuff.
rented on my credit card.
Well, you call the cops.
Didn't think of it. We were 20. Knocked on his door. The guy opens up his door, hands us the keys, drops it literally in our
Keys to
hands
what?
to the van with all our stuff, closes the door, and then you hear him deadbolt it. That was the last conversation I had with that dude.
Wow.
Whoa. Is it someone I know?
No, this you've never met. I don't even know what this guy
Is he
does.
still in comedy? Probably not.
Who knows? I
Probably
won't say his
used
name,
car
just-
business now.
Yeah.
or something. But we got left though, so that's why getting left somewhere.
That sucks. How long? So you were? That's.
I was like 19, 20.
Yeah.
Or maybe I graduated from college.
Oh, my God.
A little bit younger.
Well, let me ask this, and it's a good segue. Okay, once you guys won Last Comic Standing, how much did it change, like your road gigs and shit? Like, how much did it get better?
John, you won first. You go first.
You won season 2. You won season 5.
Yeah.
Season 3 was a wash season, right?
Yeah, I was on that season.
1 versus 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then
They
4
canceled
was
halfway through and said,
Yeah, for Alonzo. Poor Alonzo.
Alonzo won. We're not going to air it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Poor
And
Alonzo.
that season 3, they wouldn't let me do anything from winning season 2. Just on a side note. So, like, I was going to
What do you mean they wouldn't let you do anything?
Ellen, there was a bunch of TV shows that I was going to do.
Yeah.
Like sitcom-y type stuff.
Yeah.
And NBC wouldn't let me because they said you had to do season 3, and it's not fair to the season 3 contestants if you have extra exposure. So I didn't. I was actually a Last Comic winner for 2 weeks, and didn't get to do any television because Alonzo won season 3 almost 3 weeks later. That was it. That's how fast that happened.
What? That's
yes.
insane.
So
They
So
wouldn't even let you.
They couldn't let you do guest starring roles?
no, they wouldn't let me.
Before everything. Wait, in the 3 weeks?
Yeah, so I won season 2.
Yeah.
We started shooting season 3 the very next day.
Why? Why
But
did they
I
wait
didn't
6
come
months?
back because I had to do like 700 radio shows and the Tonight Show.
Yeah, you just won.
So I had a day off, and then they go, you have to be back here the next thing.
Why the fuck wouldn't they start 6 months later?
No, they started 3 weeks.
I never knew that. I thought there was like a normal.
Yeah, so I was going to do like Ellen was the one that comes to mind and some other things, which, make or break now 100 years later wouldn't have mattered, or maybe.
Well, it helps.
Well, who knows?
Get
Who
you
knows,
started.
but
Those
they-
are big deals back then, regardless.
And then when you saw season 3, I wasn't in any of the promos or nothing because they go, well, Heffron just won, so let's put light on other people. Then like, why am I?
Why wouldn't they use the winner?
They go,
of the
why?
one?
Or why would you let me just not be on it? Like we tried to go, he's not
yeah.
going to show up. He's not going to. And how the contract worked.
Like you had to.
NBC still had me for like I had to do whatever was quote unquote Last Comic for X amount of months,
Yeah.
and that's still. I mean, it was 2 weeks later, so
Well,
it was still.
That was
within-
always the fear that early on, the first year or two, people were like, I heard they own your material for a year, so you can't do that. And it never became a problem for anybody.
yeah. Well, that's just regular contract lawyer stuff.
Yeah.
That's just sort of in there. Like we owned this and this and this, and they have the word material in there, and everyone's like, "But wait, material?
Yeah. That was our biggest thing. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
you
nothing
can't have
without
that.
my material.
I've been doing that for 10 years.
But it
My pastrami joke?
No way.
It was my pastrami.
I've had that for 15.
I'm not going to switch that to bologna for you people.
But
Yeah.
I would think even however long I've been on, like 6-7 years now, I'm still going strong. So it changed,
It moved you up to like an A-level headliner, right?
Yeah, but before Last Comic, I had a Tonight Show and a half-hour special.
Okay, so you were already started.
Started, but who knows? I mean, play that game all day long. But so I've done that before Last Comic, and then afterwards it was crazy numbers, crazy everything,
Yeah.
corporate world, and that's probably still the residual effect.
Corporate? You got a lot of corporate?
Oh, I do a lot of corporate stuff. So that's probably even now, this many years later, where people always go, yeah, sometimes you get dickhead tweets like, yeah, so you haven't done anything since Last Comic. Really? Would you
no,
like
I've
to see
been
my
making my living
1099?
as-
Would you like to
Yeah.
see the money, like the corporate money? So you can,
Yeah, a lot of people think like if it's not Hollywood, it's nothing.
it's
Well,
a lot
not even
of
that.
me
It's just also that why would you promote a corporate gig?
you don't.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
so
You don't put
see-
it on your calendar because it's a private thing.
Yeah,
So,
no one else is
look at
invited.
your calendar. You're like, well, he's got nothing. We're like, well, he's got 8 corporate gigs, but I'm not going to tell you about it.
And then
Yeah.
probably the hardest thing, so all that helped. The hardest thing is then I shot a special, then immediately felt, because I never repeated anything on Last Comic, and
Okay.
how I did
Some people did.
I did.
I think so.
I did almost 14 5-minute sets on my whole shebang
14 sets?
because I got
I thought it was
challenged.
like 5. Oh,
I got challenged everything, and I had to do season 3, and they
Oh,
made it when
Jesus.
we're going to get voted off. You had to do a 5-minute set before you found out, which was I was the only season.
Before you found out what?
Like who went on, who got voted off? Is
Oh, yeah.
Terry
I forgot
Preston?
about that. They used to do the thing where it's like, okay, you lost the challenge, so now you can challenge anybody else. And
So we
loser at
used to
that
have to
comedy
say,
battle.
I'm funnier than, it was the whole
Yeah.
thing.
You
So
have to
I did
say
a
that?
lot more sets.
I always hated. I hated that.
Oh, it's the worst part. So
Who gets to go on first? Do you decide, or do they decide randomly?
I don't know how they picked it.
Because I'd pick someone who's also a dirty comic or something, just do the exact same shit as me. I'm like, let me on first. I'm hitting all the subjects.
Yeah.
He'll have nothing to talk about when I get done. It's a good strategy.
Thanks.
They should. I wish it would have a Last Comic Standing on a HBO or Showtime or something where
We can actually
they
do
could
stuff.
actually get dirty if they wanted to.
I remember Voss's wife.
I would like to see that version. See what that would have
What's
been.
Voss's wife's name?
Bonnie
Bonnie
McFarlane.
McFarlane.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah, she said cunt, and people were like, oh, how can you say that on that? Like it bleeped it out.
Yeah.
She was like, I don't know, it's my joke. What's the difference?
Yeah.
It's a word I use. Who cares?
Looking back, I hate even thinking about the whole process. Obviously, it benefited me, but it almost starts to give me panic attacks if I think about having to go through something like that again.
Did it
Yeah.
change for you too? Like after you won?
Yeah.
Like, where were you
before Last Comic Standing, I had done a half hour on Comedy Central already.
Okay.
I
For
had,
half hours, I used to think they meant like you're a superstar now. But
Yeah,
I used to think that too.
though.
Yeah.
But just the bar keeps changing.
I remember
Yeah.
seeing somebody who had a half hour on my show at the 101 Cafe.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are you doing this show in front of 6 people while there's diners about? Shouldn't you be in your mansion?
right. That's what I thought too, and doesn't work out that way.
But it helps. It helps.
It does
your career.
help. I mean, it kind of gives you some street cred to have.
Yeah,
I got a half hour
artistically,
under
too.
my belt on Comedy Central. What do you got?
Yeah.
So I had that. I had I think I had maybe 4 or 5 commercials with Dodge
Oh, the Hemi stuff.
already done. I had done
That seemed like that would probably be more helpful to you than the half hour.
money wise, yeah.
But even like fame, like draw.
Well, that's the thing. The difference is with the Comedy Central half hour special, it says John Reep.
Oh.
With the commercials, it's
Doesn't
just
say
my
anything.
face.
Yeah.
It's Dodge. It's Hemi. Who's the
Yeah.
redneck guy? What's his name? The Hemi guy.
Yeah.
What was his name? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they
John
don't know.
Reep.
That's why I tell everybody if you're going to get a sitcom, name it after yourself.
Just put your name on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that goes a long way later on,
Yeah.
Because your name will never change unless you're
Seinfeld.
what's his face from the what's the basketball guy, World Meta Peace.
Oh, yeah. Meta World Peace.
Unless you change.
Do you
it.
think like
Ron
out of
Artest.
sight?
He's doing stand-up now.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh my
He had a
God.
stand-up tour. I haven't seen it.
But let me finish this thought. Also, before
This
that,
is me hijacking. The
I know I put the brakes on real
I
quick.
won't hijack Ari's show. This part's Ari's show, so I'll shut up.
I did. I had done the Rodney Carrington sitcom.
Oh, yeah.
I had done like.
You had already done that?
Yeah, like
Oh.
2 seasons of that were already done. That
I'm
show
sure
was
that helped,
canceled.
especially in the South.
Yeah, so people, I mean, it wasn't like, I mean, people have this I don't know, I think the Last Comic Standing show had an identity crisis. It kept changing what it was trying to do every year. One year it's like we're looking for new, young,
Yeah.
undiscovered talent, and then my season they're like, no, we want like road comics that have been around a while.
Was
That
your season the one with Gabriel on it?
No, that was the
Fourth.
I remember Gabriel.
No.
I remember hearing Gabriel.
That was a cruise ship
Got
one, wasn't it?
kicked out for sneaking a cell phone in and texting people.
Yeah, you're right. It was the fourth.
Like, it had to be cut off from contacting
Yes.
people. And he's like,
He was-
fuck that. Here's my other cell phone. And I'm just
Yeah.
I'm going to be
Well, that-
texting away.
Yeah, he
Poor
got-
guy, that was a big mistake. 'Cause look what's happened to him.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Whatever happened to him?
I think he's working hard.
What's his last name? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
I think he makes
Fluffy.
cakes.
I just remember the
yeah,
fluffy word.
I think I follow him on Twitter just to be friendly, and I guess he makes cakes. And
Yeah, so I don't know. I think my season,
Yeah.
it was more about, like, they said, we want to get, like, well, I was talked into it by TJ Mark Walter.
Really?
I would look at the show, and I liked it, but I also didn't like it. I liked it because it gave comedians primetime network spotlight.
Yeah, that part's great.
So it's good for all comedians.
Oh, I said this, too. It's like the Comedy Store, because I was working the door probably at the time when that started.
Yeah.
Attendance went up.
Yeah.
People, I was like, most people were like, oh, yeah, stand-up comedy.
Comedy, that's an option.
Yeah.
They didn't even think about
Just
it.
the art form got helped.
Yeah.
Just business and for
Exactly.
everybody.
So that I liked it for that reason.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it because, you're watching, some comics do. You're watching it, and, you're on stage. You're supposed to be confident and cocky and not have a care in the world. And then you get done with your set. You look right into the camera, and you go, please vote for me.
God.
It just looks so desperate and American
Yeah.
Idolish. I didn't like the reality side of that show.
Yeah.
And
I got lucky with ours, believe it or not, because it was season 2.
Yeah.
Like that. Now this
reality
this
stuff?
shows you how fast reality shows change.
Yeah.
There wasn't that much begging because there wasn't any other shows on where people begged a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, got to keep in mind, I was on even
Right.
7 years ago, just the transformation of now everybody's so smart, 2 and 2,
Yeah.
vote for me, and
Yeah,
they throw
yeah,
up
right.
their texting gang
Like,
signs.
tweet everybody.
Right.
vote for
Which
me, it's
no
a
one
big night.
really, I mean, you would go, hey, I hope everyone did, but
Yeah.
it wasn't. No one even knew to do that.
No, exactly. But just in general, it made it look weird and desperate, you
Yeah.
know, as a stand-up, you know. When you're done, you're supposed to
Yeah, they
walk
should-
out,
they shouldn't
the
allow
audience laughing, and you just walk off the stage, not
Exactly.
hanging around going like, what'd you think, man? Vote for me.
That was always my problem with selling merch. Where I don't want to be out there like, buy my T-shirt.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I got to get over it, but like
Some
It's just
guys
extra
are so
cash.
good
yeah,
at
that's
it.
the problem.
Some guys are like, they make whole livings. Like, ever see Ralphie May sell stuff?
Uh-huh.
He accosts you. Like in
No,
a
he
nice
just sort
way.
of stays there.
Like, he's with it, but if you walk by, he's like, hey, did you enjoy the show? Yeah. How come you're not getting a shirt then? Like,
Really?
it's
I'm not
that
gonna
whole
do that.
thing,
That's
and then
hilarious.
you just go, here's my 20. And he makes a crap ton and loves it.
Ralphie does this great thing at the end of his shows. Not even at the end. Like he stops like 20 minutes before the end of like a 2-hour show, and then he'll be like, "Hey, everybody, I got shirts afterwards. I got this. I got this." And he goes, "I know times are tough, so hugs are free. You just want to come and get a hug? You can totally have one." And everyone's like, "Oh yeah, hugs."
That's smart because then
Super
they're
smart.
then they hang
I'm
out,
not there.
they hug him,
All
they're
it
like,
takes
you know
is-
what, I will get one now.
All it takes is one nudge from your girl, going like, "Give me that."
Right.
I
You
saw
have
a
to.
guy once. I was selling like DVDs and whatever I sold them for. Now I won't sell them. But this young comic had a CD that he made from his computer. Took a Sharpie, whatever his name was, wrote on the
CD?
the shittiest looking
Yeah.
homemade whatever. So I have from a big distributor, a DVD
Yeah.
thing, and it's
Yeah.
all packaged nice. And he literally goes, "Whatever you guys want to give me."
Yeah.
Really?
Okay, so
Because it costs him 50 cents a piece.
he outsold me by 100. Like, so,
What do you mean?
So people
total.
if you go
sales?
cost
Units
to
or
make
money?
people would give me $20. I
Yeah.
want the DVD. Some people would look at him and go, "Really, anything?" And he'd go, "Yeah, whatever." Some people give him $2.
Yeah.
Right.
I also saw people give him 20.
Yeah.
So his cost on average on a shit thing that cost 50 cents,
Yeah.
he outsold me by hundreds
funny.
of percentages.
I've
if I
done
knew
something
anything about
similar
math.
to that where I ran out of my CD.
Yeah.
Because I didn't bring enough or something. And I go, fuck, I've got like 2 more shows Saturday and I have nothing to sell. So I'd go to like Rite Aid and buy a bunch of blank CDs and just bootleg my own stuff from my laptop
Yeah.
and just write, like with that guy, put my name on it. And then at the end of the show, I'd go like, this is how dumb I am, you guys. I didn't bring enough, but I today, all day today, I sat in my hotel room and I burned copies of my own. I
One at a
bootlegged
time.
my own shit. No one else in the world has these but you guys. If you want, I made it very valuable, you know. And I've already signed them all and everything, and I sold a lot of them. But that's a pretty smart thing what that guy was doing. It's like whatever you want to give me.
Oh, okay, then I tried it at Irvine. I had T-shirts, right?
But wait, there's more.
And I tried selling T-shirts, and it was the worst experience ever. Never do it again. Didn't feel like selling the shirts.
Yeah.
And I go, hey, whatever you guys want to give me. For the
Right.
shirts, right? They're kind of cool shirts. You don't need to see my act to
Yeah.
get it. It was just done kind of classy.
Whatever you want to give me.
The most money somebody handed a shirt was $4.
Right.
Poor.
Did people giving the guy $1? Giving him $2, like I'm like, what the, it totally backfired.
You're losing
like,
money.
yeah,
This
I
is
did
not
not.
working.
One person
Oh,
gave
man.
like $10. Well, this says a lot how the shirt looked and or the image on it, so that's good.
You don't have any merch?
No, I gotta get. I asked people today like to help me design a 2012 tour shirt.
What about this is like a CD of your act?
I made a CD. I'm editing it now with Rooftop.
You should do a CD.
I did.
I think good. I just think it's easier.
Yeah.
Because when you
I
deal
have-
with shirts, you got to think of sizes.
Yeah, I have a way easier time selling my CD too.
Yeah.
I asked Carl LeBove this once. Remember Carl LeBove?
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
Carl LeBove.
We went to San Diego together, and I was like, you don't feel weird about like this is fucking 10, 11 years ago, and I still
Yeah.
haven't gotten over it. I'm like, you don't feel weird about selling merchandise after a show? He goes, I would if it was like a keychain
Right.
that said like whatever it is, just some
Yeah.
schmendricky thing. But he's like, this is my CD. This is what I work on.
This is my art.
I'm totally proud
This
of it.
is why you came here to begin
so I'm
with.
super proud of it. So I'm totally
Yeah.
cool with selling that to people.
Exactly. That's the mentality you got to have.
Yeah.
That's why I think a CD would be better.
Yeah, and also it's like so I can like have a reason to stop doing this material and then move on to new
Yeah,
material.
exactly. And have other,
Yeah,
It's
that
a way of
helps.
retiring it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's
that
cool.
definitely helps because I'm going through that now where I've stopped selling my DVD, and then you're like, I just
Why'd you stop selling it?
don't feel like it anymore.
You mean you don't sell anything after a show anymore,
Done.
or just a DVD?
Just don't do it.
I sit out there and I sell the DVD and I say hello to everybody who came and do all that. And sometimes that's more exhausting than the show itself.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like selling anymore. I don't.
I know. I go through phases where I was like, I want to make sure I got everything I have merch-wise.
I wanna
a
give
booth with a whole background.
Yeah,
where
that'd be
everybody-
great.
And I got like, I just want to get out of here and go home.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
so
there's that
tired.
too.
I just want to give people like my goal is on mail where I give away. I have 4 albums on iTunes, and I think I give away almost all of them if you get on my mailing list. And then on stage I have a way people can text to get into that.
Yeah.
And then they get the links to download everything for free.
So then people can come to your show more.
I would
That's the main
rather
thing.
just to
Yeah.
go to develop that thing. Or you could do it with your podcast.
Yeah.
You go, hey, you guys want 20 minutes of shit I didn't talk about? Do this. And then on that free link is how to get out all your iTunes podcasts.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Then it turns into more you're promoting yourself than just being a comic.
Yeah. The reason I got into this, so I could, well, it's not the reason, but the nice part of it is so I can just do drugs and fuck young women. It's like all the promotion shit. That seems like work.
Well, that's basically the reason why anything's ever invented to begin with, or any man does anything at all, is just to get laid at some point.
Yeah.
Like,
I
that's
said
why I
it-
started comedy. I was just trying to get laid.
Really?
Yeah.
I got into comedy because of 21-year-old drunk
cool.
girls, and I will get out of comedy because of 21-year-old drunk
Right.
girls. Would be
It's a
the
double-edged
exact reason
sword.
why I'm done.
For the
I
exact
can't
same.
handle your dumbness, snapping your gum during my show or texting the whole time. I can't handle that.
It's
you're
changed,
stupid.
definitely. What, how come did you ever think about going up for Last Comic, or did you?
I did this last time. It was a
Yeah,
nightmare.
What happened?
Well, because I know everybody told me like, Ari, you should do it this year. They're going like legitimate. They're getting like super like respectable like judges.
Right.
They're like, we don't know who yet, but the list they gave me is like, this is what I was told.
Was this the year that my season?
No, this was this past year. When
past year?
Who won?
Oh, with Felipe Esparza won.
Felipe won. Yeah.
Okay.
It was really funny. It was making me happy.
Yeah.
that he won. But like, I was like, okay, maybe, sure. And so then I heard they got Greg Giraldo to be a judge. I'm like, oh, I like him. And Andy Kindler. I was like, that's great. And they were looking for another one. And then I didn't know till I got there, but the third judge was an ex-girlfriend of mine.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Now I remember you told me this.
People
Oh,
were
my
coming
God.
out. Improv made
That's
to
like-
the lab, like, oh, you know who the third judge is, right? I'm like, no, they said they were looking like Natasha. I was like, there's no way.
Oh.
Come on. Not like Maria Bamford or Sarah Silverman or something? And they're
No.
like, nope. And I was like, no way. And then more and more people saying, I was like, fuck.
Did it end bad with Natasha?
It ended super bad. I'm a horrible ex-boyfriend. I've tried to do better. I'm a good boyfriend, but a horrible ex-boyfriend.
Did she say anything to you on the show?
No. She, at the time, too, I'd already made the decision of like, I don't care about this anymore. I've painted myself in such a corner because I was such an asshole that I'm like, I've got to make a phone call and just say, hey, I'm really sorry. I hope we can put it behind us, but if you don't want to forgive me, that's totally cool.
Right.
I already made that call to Bobby Lee. You know, and I'm
right.
like, I'm just trying to end these horrible, like when I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Just be mad for the sake of being mad. But I hadn't made the call yet.
Right.
So it's just like, fuck. And then I got super nervous in my head, and whatever bit I decided to do about like traffic or something light, I was like, no, change it. Do it. Anti-homeless people material. Like, it's super harsh. That relies on an audience. You have no fucking audience.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a camera guy in the back laughing.
Oh, God, that's the worst.
Which, if I had to do it again, I would focus on the camera guy in the back.
Yeah.
I would focus on the grips that are there and just do it for them. Instead of these three people with their hands in front of their face
Yeah.
judging you.
Yeah. I mean, that will never happen outside of a show like that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe like at the Comedy Store, three people.
I remember this. I told you about it, and you were like, well, you should be used to going in front of three people.
Right.
I'm like, not three people I know.
No, right.
One of whom I've seen naked, and, you know.
Yeah, who's
I've
still
been
mad at
inside
you.
of- yeah, it's like, I don't, this isn't, and they're judging me. They are on camera as they're looking at you. So they're trying to act.
So
She was fine. She was like, Geraldo was like, that's too mean, that bit. You got to be careful.
Yeah.
But it was nice.
so she wasn't extraordinarily mean or anything.
Yeah, but I would have, like, 30 seconds into it, had that bombing cold sweat.
Yeah.
Of like, this is going terribly.
God, I hate that. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, just and just like, oh. And then when they were like, all right, that's good, I was like, oh, thank you. And then like, Geraldo was giving me feedback, and he goes, I got to say no. I was like, oh, all right. I thought that was a given. I didn't realize I had to get Kindler Dave some feedback. He also said no. And then she was like, yeah, those other two guys said no, so it doesn't really matter what I say.
Yeah. Doing that one audition.
How do you think, John? How do you
in front
think
of
you
three
would have
people
done
is retarded.
in front of those three judges? Because you didn't have judges, right?
No, I did. I had Alonzo Bowden,
Okay.
had
Yes, I didn't want to get Ant.
Kathleen Madigan,
Yeah.
and I had Ant.
I'd be like, fuck this. I remember Caprillo not. He's cool. I don't care. I'll say it.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm not fucking letting Ant judge me because I'm not letting some
Those
comic
three
that
were
I'm
on my
clearly
season.
better than.
Well, Caprillo was auditioning in my season.
Yeah.
No, Aunt Kathleen and
Oh, I
Alonzo.
see,
were
Yeah, they
on-
had to talk him into it
Yeah.
because he was supposed to do it here, and then he's like, he went to the showcase, said fuck this, and left. And
Yeah.
they're like, please drive to Tempe and
Yeah.
just do it. So
Yeah.
he did.
Well, how did they react to you?
Well, luckily I already know Alonzo.
That helps.
We had the same college agent for years, and so we were always friendly to each other. You
Yeah.
know? Good. He's a good guy. And he liked me. Blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
that's cool.
Kathleen Madigan, I've always respected her. I never.
Yeah, she's a legit comic. I like her.
She's
I like
hilarious.
watching her.
But see,
bad bitch.
those three judges are completely different than the other three judges, except for Geraldo.
I don't. If I had those three judges,
There's no way you would have went.
I don't think so.
They would have said no to
Oh
you.
yeah, there was definitely an alternative slant.
I think
to
they
it.
would have said no. Rednecky stuff. It's been done. Get out of here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing too. Is
That's
like
100%.
I think this has been done. You're like what?
Right.
You got to watch somebody in front of a crowd.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta.
It's dumb.
We perform based on the idea that people will be watching us. Not, we don't do it. I know Harlan did a special. I just heard this in the woods in Canada.
No shit.
He's like, fuck it, I'll do it for the trees.
What?
Yeah.
Like,
How does that work?
Harlan Williams is crazy.
I know.
And hilarious. He does weird shit. Yeah, he just went and did a special. I got to look for it.
So you
I heard
hear
him
like
make-
ambient noise and him doing jokes,
Chirping. And
Is he
like,
waiting? Is he like letting the crickets laugh?
I don't know. I
mean-
know he did some jokes about the trees themselves. I heard he might have done crowd work on one or two of the trees or some insects.
But
But,
with
like,
no crowd.
no crowd.
Well, it's basically just like doing like a monologue. I mean,
guess.
like your own sort of radio show.
But
with
if
no
you're
one
watching
else.
it as a
No crowd
special,
should sound more like David Sedaris than a comedy show.
Right, it's like an audiobook.
Yeah, I like to interact with the crowd a little bit.
Yeah.
I like to be like, you guys
It's funny-
must know, you know what, and just like talk to specific people.
But I
That's
could
how
see
do
him doing
comedy.
that to the trees, like you just said, where
Yeah.
he's actually like talking to like, where are you from?
Stumpy, look at you. Yeah.
that's the thing I admire most about Louis C.K.'s new special, where he goes to film it, and
Yeah.
he's sitting in back, and he's just like, fuck it, let's start this thing. No, here's your special music. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
Right.
Like, none of that.
Yeah.
And I guess he just walks up.
Yeah.
Just walks up and starts talking. So people are sitting there, and suddenly they're like, wait, what? It started?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
We were
'cause
going
he
to
was
clap
like-
for you when you came out, but we
But
didn't
no,
know.
none of that. I'm like, God, that's so ballsy.
That's funny.
I'm going to try to do
I
That's
haven't
one of
seen it yet.
my things for this year.
Louis C.K. I just
Yeah.
downloaded it.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
Did you pay for it?
Just say
It's
it.
okay if you didn't, because he said, please
I
don't.
steal
but
shit. I steal shit. That's what I do. That's how I get stuff online. I steal it. That's what I do.
Yeah. Well, if you can get
What
it
did
free.
he say? Please what?
Well, in one of his interviews on late night television or something, he said, I put it on my website, and I just put, look, I know people will probably steal it.
Yeah.
I just put on there, hey, man, this is this much. Please don't.
Please don't steal it.
Please don't steal it.
Yeah.
But I know people will.
That's just, I know. It's just like, I don't stand by it. It's stealing. I'm not going to be like, well, they shouldn't charge so much, so I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Fuck that. It's stealing.
It's
But it's like, yeah, I steal.
That's because a
I used
cop's
to
not,
shoplift
there's
from
not
Best
a
Buy
cop
or
right
Tower
there
Records. Why
who
would I
goes
not?
like, yeah, exactly. It's easier on your computer.
I'm just in the mood of doing. That's just how I do things. Music.
Yeah.
Everything. And
Yeah.
if he had a special on HBO, I'd steal it from HBO. It wouldn't matter. I steal.
There he said it
It's
from a
quicker,
horse's
it's
mouth.
easier. Somebody told me about that South Park documentary, and as I was talking, I was like, I should get that. Sounds interesting. Before our conversation was done, you just hear, finish downloading.
And I'm surprised you could probably get it on Hulu right now anyway. I
What?
mean, a lot of the
Special?
stuff that you're saying you
Some
can
of that
steal
stuff, yeah.
is probably free anyway somewhere else.
It's easier without Hulu. No
Yeah.
commercials. There's not one commercial. I don't have
Go
to
to
sit
like
through
the
anything.
torrent sites and stuff.
Yeah, BitTorrents.
I've
I wanted
never-
to name my album, but Rooftop was like, we're probably not going to do that. I wanted to name it BitTorrent, this album.
BitTorrent this.
Yeah, and they were like, we're not going to be advising people to steal this.
Yeah, no. We need to make our money
Yeah.
too.
If you had torrent in your name or your title, though, you know how many Google searches or times it would pop up?
Really?
Yeah,
That'd be
just
good.
from, because that word probably gets
Right.
Googled a lot.
Yeah. Nigger hate torrent Obama economics.
Yes, yeah, you literally
Yeah.
the Sleepy Hollows.
Wow.
Yeah.
Trending right now, Ari's new
Harry
album.
Harry Potter,
Kardashian.
Kardashian / Tebow.
Lose weight, big asses, stop smoking,
Big dick.
big dick.
But you have to make sure that Ari's first and Shaffir's
Yeah.
last, and put all that stuff
Put it in it.
Yeah.
in the middle. Or you
What do they
might get
call
lost.
those when you upload something? It's I don't know, when you upload a video, it's like
Keywords?
Is that what it is? Keywords or tags? Not tags.
Tags.
Yeah. So you just have your whole album, Ari Shaffir, right in the middle. It's all tags.
In the early days of internet sites, I remember everyone who designed them, all my nerd friends and my brother-in-law, they would, like, the secret is tag it with as much shit as you possibly can. Tag XXX porn.
Right.
Anything you can possibly think of. Haha. Funny,
Yeah.
comedy, comedic.
Right.
Anything someone might enter, you want your shit coming up early.
Yeah. Do people still do that?
Or it'd be this too. They go funny. So if you tag if you Google funny, yours would come up higher because you had 7 funnies in yours.
It's like the phone book where you're A.
Yeah, they eventually got rid of that.
Cooling.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Did you guys get anybody like who tortured you on Last Comic Standing? What are the comics who fucking didn't like you and you didn't like them? It's been a while.
It has.
I know you might not want to talk about it. Just fucking talk about it anyway.
I will.
Ant was difficult.
And I can see it being difficult
online, and that's probably my biggest regret. Even though nobody,
he's a queen.
Nobody gives a shit. Yeah, definitely, and hides behind her sexuality, so you never have the option of just knocking him the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
because it's like hitting a girl.
Oh, he plays that homophobia card a lot.
You know what I mean? So where that's probably my biggest regret is, even though now
not punching him on your show.
Yeah,
wow.
And now nobody gives a shit, and everyone's moved on in their lives.
Yeah,
but I still
that would have made headlines.
Ant literally convince me to throw Bonnie McFarlane under the bus when we were doing.
He convinced you to?
Yes, and that was. We're all going to go against you, even Kathleen Madigan, and you'll have to go up against her if you don't vote with us. You know how you do that Survivor? Because there was a little bit of gameplay if you didn't want to be challenged.
I remember Tammy doing that, talking about her dying father or something, or my father's sick and crying into the camera a bunch. I'm like, well played.
Yeah. Oh, it's completely
smart.
Like it's there is that part of the
story
of
behind
that part of the thing.
That shouldn't be part of it.
I know that's the part I didn't like.
Part,
but no one watches straight.
That's the weird part with comics, because as general, comics don't.
What?
I mean,
we're usually over it. We're like, I'm not playing that.
That's what I mean.
Just put my name out.
That's what makes it.
Yeah.
I couldn't even make a tape for years. People send me a tape. Like,
that's a lot of work.
I'm not gonna. You can probably come see me.
I gotta find someone to edit it.
Yeah, I'll just not.
Yeah.
Who did you?
No, you know what? You know how I am, man. I get along with everybody. I don't let anything bother me. If I do, I don't talk about it. But
why you hide your emotions inside?
Got on my nerves. I don't know.
I know.
Why.
You never take things on the chin because
I just don't give a shit. I don't know.
Let's try to get him to cry. Let's have an
chinless.
Oprah moment right here.
No, that's you're talking about no lips. I don't have lips.
That's what it is.
Yeah. On my season, in the top 5,
but let's go back a second. How do you not let stuff bother you? Like, people always say that, but there's a strategy. Like, do you say something to yourself?
Well, because
you go fuck that guy and then you're over it. Like, what? How do you?
If I know it's not
both
going
of you are
to,
the same way, so I suppose.
Yeah, you got a little bit of that too.
I've gotten there, but go.
Yeah, I'm happy with where my real life is. It's right here with the wife and the 2 dogs and this nice house.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm good at what I do.
Yeah.
So when people say mean shit or just something negative to me, I know it doesn't mean anything at the end of the day.
It doesn't take away your wife.
It doesn't mean she's still here.
Yeah.
You know what they say? They say if you really get pissed off at something or something really bothers you, it's because
you know it's true.
You can't be angry. Well, you can't be angry without fear. So if you get really angry and somebody's saying some shit about you, there is a little bit of fear that that's true.
Might be true. That's what Stefano told me. You only take those people into account because
you think it's true what they say. Right.
And per hour, which I'm not giving any credit to anybody or even coming close to saying what I want to say, because it'll per our conversation we had a couple days ago when we're watching The Thing. There was a thing. Now that I think that's, if you remember what I said,
you get mad at people on Twitter sending you shitty comments.
Yeah, but I'm like, maybe that's true.
Oh, right. So that's
that's why it bothered you, because you thought there might be truth to it.
Not because of the coward douchebag, or whatever. Not because of the actual.
Here's why I've become like really honest. I just get to this point, and it's not so much the happiness, but just when I don't care about hiding anything. My feeling is like, if I'm embarrassed about it, change your behavior. And if you're not embarrassed about it, then own up to it. Who fucking cares?
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to tell my mom to go to hookers, but like. You know, I'm not afraid of telling anybody else. She'll probably listen to this and know I've been to hookers
but then there you go.
Yeah.
Your mom doesn't listen to last podcasting. Now, this is also
this is the last
yours.
podcast.
We can't be responsible for that. But we know on our end she's not going to hear it.
Right.
So you're safe. You're safe. If you want to talk in the last podcasting, you can say whatever you want.
I get to where it's like, this doesn't affect me, and it's just, I just know statistics. You're allowed to not like me.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Not everyone will.
Yeah.
No matter what you do.
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah.
There are people I don't like. And they didn't do anything wrong to me. I just don't take to their aesthetic or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's not like they just shouldn't feel bad about it. I compare it to this. If you're a fine chef, like one of the best chefs in the world, and you can make me this awesome plate of halibut, but I'll be like, hey, bro, I don't like fish. And you'd be like, you know who I am? Like, you can be whoever the fuck you want. I don't like fish.
It's a fish, dude.
Yeah, it's not. You're not going to get me.
I don't hate you.
Yeah.
I just don't like this
sure
dish.
You're a great cook. Yeah.
Make something better.
And it's funny with
without fish.
So if I'm happy with my stand-up, and it's like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm happy with who I am.
So,
it's like,
it's the little
it's
comments like
funny,
that.
not just me, but just Twitter's just kind of that that mind frame where it's amazing how many bands I don't like, and I never think about them.
Yeah, you don't think about them at all.
Like I never think about going to this band that I will never see.
Just say, fuck you,
and
I hate you.
Hey, fucking Warrant, or
The worst thing is
that's
like,
even.
Whoa, you don't like Warrant?
Yeah, no, I love
when
Warrant.
they're brought up, you just go, nah, I'm not a fan of that.
Or I don't even think about it. I would never go, where are they? Because I'm going to let them know I will not see them in Orlando when they are there. Like, I never, it's amazing that comics people, which actually shows, there's something about you that when you see me, you want that.
Yeah.
You want what I have.
What you're doing is you're taking a guy who wouldn't act normal, who wouldn't go, oh, I just would never tell them. You're taking a guy who's just an asshole, and you're like, well, let me lend credence to what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like, who leaves YouTube comments? Nobody. Nobody that I know.
Yeah, I won't say for the record, I am not fake or gay.
Right.
Because that's the one I see all the time.
Oh, you're gay? You're fake?
No, just fake and gay.
Really?
Just those two words. Just like saying sick and tired. You can't say sick without saying and tired, like, Bill
They call
Cosby
you
bit.
fake and gay?
No. There's one video I have where it's me as a cop, and I pull over Mark Ryan. I don't know if I've showed you this before.
Yeah,
and so it looks real. So everyone wants to say fake.
Oh, fake.
But then they put fake and gay, fake and gay, fake and gay. Everything's fake and gay. That's the number one comment.
Talking before you.
Yeah, and I laugh at it every time. I go, yeah,
Kill myself.
It is fake. I guess it's kind of gay. I don't know.
You're like, it's clearly fake. I wasn't trying to fool anybody.
Right. That's why I have johnreep.com on the top of it.
Actually, I told my wife because I wanted to do a thing after my show where I give people free shit if they text the thing, but I also ask them a few questions.
Yeah.
Just because I spend a lot of money on Facebook for ads and stuff, and I just want to this year figure out what's worth it. How do people actually get to show up where you are? Like,
You really worry about this stuff, huh?
Well, you got it for numbers because, or every year
that's
the
like-
numbers go down.
It's good business.
That's what he does all the time. Just touring around. That's his.
And your numbers, it's all on you. So that's one thing about when you tour a lot. If the club is empty, it's your fault. If the club is full, the club has a really good PR firm.
Right.
Like, they never give you any
They'll
credit.
give you credit for it.
So you have to. And then I was going to go, I'll ask people if they saw me on Facebook or Twitter. And then I'll ask them, what was their favorite part of the show? What was the part they didn't like? And Ari I told my wife this. Ari goes, why the fuck would you care why do they get to dictate? And then I had the whole way drive home, I'm like, yeah, why am I being such a pussy? Like, they don't get to dictate what they listen
I
to
want
me.
more jokes
Like,
about church or something. Like,
it's not a choose your own venture. People, do you want me to tell the dry cleaner to fuck off, or do you want me to how do you want me to handle this bit?
Did you like the closing bit? Yeah. I know.
So I actually took that to heart.
Yeah. He got inside his head.
I was at the Laugh Factory. I had a story that doesn't have an ending yet. And so I was telling it, and then it kind of dropped off at the end. It was really good response the whole way through, and then drops off at the end. I was like, you know what, that story needs a fucking ending. I was like, you guys could feel that, right? It just fucking plummeted at the end.
And then
they all started cheering. And I'm like, no. I wasn't asking for applause. Stop. This feels so bad. Stop.
What did you say before we start talking? I think because we were going to talk about material or whatever. You said that it's my brain frying right now. You said you had an idea.
I'm trying to write a new hour this year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm trying to chuck every old joke I've ever done and write a brand new hour this year.
Okay, so how are you going to do that minute by minute? I.e., you have 60 minutes.
I don't have 60 minutes.
Okay,
but you of old stuff.
17 minutes now.
No, but we're saying
but
old
you have.
stuff.
Let's say you have to do an hour show.
Okay,
right?
I got to bring in some old stuff for the hour.
Yeah. So, but what's your
ratio?
Toss out expiration dates? How do you do it?
Well, it was always like, if I don't feel like doing it anymore, if I get bored with it, if it's totally no longer me, then it's like, I'm done. Mm-hmm. If it's something about being broke, it's like, I'm not broke, so it feels sort of fake. Or I have to say I used to be. But, just stuff you get tired of. I don't know. You get tired of a bit, and you stop doing it normally.
Yeah, it happens.
Bring it out once in a while.
How do you do? Well, I'm going to, so you want to do, I was talking, my brain's all over the place. I was talking I went hiking with a comic, and we're like, if some comics got together like old school and actually helped each other.
Yeah.
Not that all for one thing.
Yeah.
You could crank out. You not believe how much material. Like if the three of us went every Sunday, we're going to meet, and you're going to leave with
crazy.
with a 5-minute
It's
chunk.
like he intercepted our text message the other day.
Yeah, you're going to go. You're going to leave with 5. You're going to leave with 5. Every Sunday, you'd have a new hour.
Al and Kevin did this for a while. Where they meet once a week, just a new joke night, new joke day.
And you help them, but not like,
Christie.
oh my God, boy, if I should save this for. If you go, what are you working on, Ari?
Yeah.
Here's you know what you should say there.
Talk about a bit.
Say this exact, and then you literally.
You also tell them what angles to take it down. You know, let's say it's about some job, and they'll be like, hey, have you considered what your parents thought of that job? Like, oh, that's a whole bunch of stuff I can
And you'd have 2 different perspectives, especially if you had.
That you would never think of doing.
Like, I come at jokes differently than John or differently than you, and you could always.
I text him. This is why I'm like,
it's amazing.
I can't wait to tell you that. I was texting Ari not too long ago, and I said, dude, we need to start like a group of like
5-minute club.
Good headliner comedians. We get together and we call it the League of Extraordinary Comedians, and it's like the Jedi Mind Council.
I think we need to start a secret club. When was this? This is December 28th. Not even that long ago. This is
not too long ago. Read it. What does it say?
I think we need to start a secret club for well-established and respected comedians. We get together and help each other out. Call it the League of Extraordinary Comedians. And I said, okay, that could be helpful. People would feel left out as fuck, though, the people we didn't.
Yeah, like me, because I'm not part of this text. Yeah, like
well,
right
you're
now.
In it now.
Just
like
good.
right
we
now.
Invited anyone.
It's just so far, we're just brainstorming.
And he goes, right, secret club.
Secret club.
I was like,
well,
okay,
it's out of the bag now for whoever's listening to this. But I did something like that for a while with Dan French is a guy, and then there was Chip Chinnery. When I first came out here, he was like the commercial king. He was in every freaking commercial there was, and so we would all get together at like this Italian restaurant and sit around and eat food and figure out, hey, how can you help me? How can you help me? And that didn't last very long.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, tell this booker about me, but I'm not going to tell you because it's like none of us feel comfortable enough to be like, you should definitely book this guy.
The problem was we weren't all like good friends. We were just and they're like, well, why would I help you? Because I don't think you can help me.
David Taylor, I'm telling everybody I'm doing it because I'm like, I want to have to stick to it.
Yeah.
The new hour. I don't want to like just
I'm trying.
let it go. I'm telling people and forcing myself to like, I'll be embarrassed if I don't.
That's the best way to get it done.
But yeah, the other day David Taylor was like, oh, watch. You want me to watch yourself? I'm like, absolutely. Any advice you have, absolutely tell me. If you feel like sitting in here, totally.
I've been doing
David Taylor, not David Tell.
I've been doing a lot of.
I do that to feature acts sometimes. When you go to a club, they just there's some random feature that you didn't bring your own feature, and if we hit it off, I'll go like, if you don't mind, sit back and watch, and if you got something, you want to give me, I'd love to take it.
5, 6 times.
And sometimes the guy's like, I'd love to get John Reep to use one of my jokes,
Yeah.
So they do it anyway because they want to help and they're fans to begin with. So that's
Rogan and I would do that to each other a lot, where it's like. Just offer a tagline, like maybe this goes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Just and then when you see them do your joke, you feel like,
you sit back and like, oh, this is the part he's going to say, yes, and it worked.
Yeah,
it's nice to see your work do well. Someone else doing it,
Yeah, and sometimes
let's say steal it.
Watch other people and help. But sometimes it's easier to help other people.
Help someone else, than punch up to do your own.
Than to do your own.
It's easier to punch up
because I have three. I have 3 subjects my whole life. If you watch any that I talk about,
what is it?
Same 3 things. Getting older, remember when, and relationships. Okay? So basically those 3 things.
Yeah.
I have hours of material in each subject. So when I get on stage, I go 15, 15, 15 is kind of my mind thing. I'm going to do remember when's, some relationship shit. Hey, I'm getting older. What's with being 25? I'm still
right.
But in each hour, but I never know which way I'm going to go. So the shows are always different, and you can always write. But then this year I went, I'm sick of talking about those 3 things. But so now it's a voice thing. You're like, well, what? I can't suddenly be dirty comic guy. Because my fans would be like, "What the fuck? You talking?" So you're like, "What do you?"
Are you guys bound by your fans at all? Like,
you know what? You really feel like that after a while. You're like, "Well, these are the people who like me.
Yeah.
Why lose those people if you don't have to?" And so part of you go like, "Well, they already like this bit, this bit, this bit. I should branch off from those and create more things similar to it, so as not to lose those." So you kind of feel like that, but I don't think.
They like you though.
Yeah.
But, you know, so once they are John Reep fans, they'll show up and they'll pretty much.
Yeah, I know, but you feel bad. Like,
I'll tell you one thing, Ari. So when I was on Last Comic Standing,
yeah,
I had, you know, already done the Comedy Central stuff. But when you're on primetime network TV, you have to be clean. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
You got to be clean. Now, people see you on TV, and there are people thinking they're like, "Oh, I like him. He's clean." I'm tired of all these other comedians.
That's what I heard.
They're saying GDMF every time, you know. And so finally, we got a comedian and he's clean, and I can't wait to go see him. And then like, but I'm not always.
Yeah.
You've seen me at the Comedy Store.
You're regular.
I do whatever.
You're on the cleaner side. But like,
yeah, but it's not like I'm. You know, I don't go out of my way.
Yeah.
I'm not being clean for like any moral reason. I know that I'll be on TV more if I am.
Yeah.
So people come out to see you, and then you know, I'm doing a bit now where I end up humping the mic stand for 10 minutes. Then it's like, well, who is he? I didn't know he didn't do that on Last Comic Standing. You can tell.
You can't worry about it if you really want to do it.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just saying.
I'm lucky because if I do a clean bit, like one clean bit, nobody's gonna be like, "What the fuck, man?"
Yeah.
What's your problem?
Yeah, you sold out, man.
Why'd you do a bit about?
Yeah.
I'll just sort of do whatever I want, and then they're like, "Yeah, this is what I'm thinking about." So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. You feel like you should.
You do get
sort of play to your
crowd.
fans,
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's that old school comedian in you going like, "Fuck that, man! I should do
There's
what I want
ways
to
to do it.
Yeah.
You know, there's
It
ways.
should
like,
be a medium of both.
I've been doing not a lot. I've done a couple seminars where I've been really
Seminars?
Yeah,
Jesus,
I
you're
know that sounds
professional.
old as shit. Where I
It blows my mind every time I see him. He just came back from another freaking conference.
where I do speaker training for executives, and there's all this psychology stuff and stuff you do with your voice and how to anchor the stage. So my thing this year is there's a way that you can anchor your alter ego where I literally on stage tell them, hey, you know what? I just did a bit about your mom cutting your hair, but I have a dirtier side that I never know how to throw in.
Yeah.
And then you could stand on one part of the stage or touch the mic a certain way or hold it differently where you can become the bizarro you, and you'll have the freedom to go, don't you hate it when you fart and you're watching a porn and you think the smell comes from that ass and it makes it all like you?
That's a good point.
You can,
it really is.
Right? And you have to
hate
change
that.
the scene.
That's what Otto and George does.
What?
Otto and George, the filthy puppet. He's always like, hey, he's always like apologizing for his puppet. Like, hey, come on, man,
right.
keep it clean.
Yeah,
and it's just the worst things ever. He can let the puppet say.
Yeah.
But there's ways. But I also enjoy like you can dirty up a clean bit easier than
Clean up a dirty
making a
bit.
dirt. Like if you do a corporate event, you can take out all the shits and fucks and still have the bit be about
Right. You can
mom
say-
haircuts. But if it's a rougher crowd, you can just go, did you fucking hate when your mom?
Yeah. If the
fucking you?"
subtext, if the whole subject matter was anal rape,
Yeah,
it's
that's
hard
tough.
to clean that up.
Yeah. If it's
I got into one. They were doing the Laugh Factory, like the 80-hour marathon comedy.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I want to be part of that. It's kind of sort of cool.
Yeah, I hate I missed out on that. I would have loved to have
Yeah.
stopped in there.
So they would have definitely had you if it just said,
Yeah, I think I
wanna
was
do
on
it.
the road or something.
But so I was up at like 5 a.m., 4 a.m., whatever it was. A bunch of homeless people were in there, and a few regular audience members. But they were like, keep it clean because we're broadcasting this to a children's hospital. And that got to me, even though it wasn't going to be. There's no kids that are up at 4 a.m., whatever.
Yeah.
But it got to me, so I tried to be clean. And then I'm doing bits, and I'm like, I'm on my knees, and I'm about to say, like, this is called a rape crouch. And I'm like, oh, can't say that. I'm like, this is danger crouch.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, it's not as good.
Yeah, it ruins the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
What is your puss level? What were you going to say?
Oh no, it was just.
What
me
happened
going,
to your puss level after Last Comic Standing?
Well, I was engaged.
Oh, you were already with
Right.
her?
Yeah.
Oh,
So was
that
I.
sucks. What?
That sucks.
Couldn't use any of it
I
for that.
literally
Wugga.
No, I got engaged, 3 or 4 weeks before I auditioned for Last Comic. And I was flying from Tampa to Michigan. Last Comic auditions was in Nashville. And I had a layover on the flight.
Yeah.
And I changed my flight to go audition. And I figured,
Really? That's a good move.
I'll audition just since they're in Nashville. And then I'll fly out later anyway. And so I was on the pilot of Last Comic, though, with me, Stanhope, and some other
pilot?
people. The pilot for Last Comic. It was called Comic House.
Oh, really?
For the executives.
They just did one to.
We did.
Stanhope did it.
Me and Stanhope, we did for a weekend.
Wow, that's interesting. I never heard of that.
Called Comic
That's
House.
pretty
See,
cool.
To me, it'd be cool to see a bunch of comics living in the same house together. That part would be cool. But the fact that it's a contest,
Yeah.
that sort of ruins
It stressed you out, man.
Yeah, if it's
But anyway,
more of
so
a
If it's
Big
more just
Brother
like, hey, whoever
thing.
fights, fights.
we were engaged, and then I got. Did I win? I got married on Saturday, and then
Yeah.
one Last Comic on Tuesday. was the craziest week of literally my life.
Wow.
Yeah, they should just have. Wow. So did you get hit on a lot? Did that go up?
I was engaged even before Genta.
Yeah.
I was engaged.
Someone else?
Yeah. I've been with I forgot Genta.
Wait,
before Genta, I got one other girl.
Does she know this, or should you be talking on Ari's podcast right now, where she doesn't listen to?
Upstairs anyway.
Okay. No, I'm saying though, like that's
Yeah,
free.
yeah.
You
In
can
general.
step over right now.
Right.
You're listening to
That side of the couch, that's Skeptic
you're
Tank.
allowed
Over
that.
here's Les
Okay.
podcasting, and I did say it on our side.
Okay, perfect.
But no, yeah, she knows. Yeah, she knows. I was engaged once before.
Yeah.
And that was during that whole thing. That was Hemi stuff. That was
so people
Comedy
saw you from that.
Central. And then that ended. And then when that ended,
Yeah.
the old one, I
Yeah.
told myself, I'm stepping up my
I'm gonna
game.
go nuts right now.
I'm gonna go and get the hottest.
Really?
I'm tired of these 6s and 5s. I'm actually going to look for 8s. I was always get the easiest thing in the bar,
Yeah.
whatever that is. That's what I always used to do.
The drunk fat chick?
Yeah, whatever that is. And then
And you stepped it up.
and I was like, I'm tired of that. I think it's time for me to actually
And would you
attempt to get 8s, 9s, and 10s.
And you think that was because of the Hemi stuff and the
It
crowd
gave me
at Carrington?
confidence. People were coming up to me and talking about, hey, I think you're funny. I was like, oh, cool. There's a hotter chick behind you who likes me too,
Who
so
also
maybe I'll go
wants to
talk to
talk,
her. Yeah, so
You're like, it's no offense, but I'm a little shallow, and I'd rather get that.
it's exactly
I'm
what
gonna
it
assume
is.
you're both equally cool.
Right.
I don't know you. So
That's true.
I think
You've lost.
actually, like, even though I got married, engaged, and then went from my money changed from a bazillion, right? So it was like, oh, what's going to, and then suddenly Last Comic, but we couldn't work like 3 or 4 months because we were filming the whole time. So like I actually, the theater across from Last Comic, I went to pay for me and my wife and some other comics In-N-Out Burger. My credit card was declined. I won Last Comic 2 hours later.
Oh, that's
But
funny.
I went because I was just like, I was in that place of, I don't give a fuck about the show. I'm broke as fuck. Like, what's going to happen? Like, it was one
Well,
of
you
those.
knew you were already in the Final Five, so you'd have that tour coming, right?
No, we didn't have a tour.
Oh, you didn't do that yet? You did it.
You guys did not have one?
No, they didn't.
There was no
they
tour?
didn't do that with us.
Yeah, I had a
It's
tour.
huge thing. If you get the Final Five, you go on this
Tour.
tour. And how much do you make per gig on that?
No, Jay Moore kept going on our show.
It was different for
Yeah, I guess so. But it was like 20
It was
gigs,
good. It was
and it's
good.
like you're going to make $100 grand. You're going to make something where
yeah.
it's like you're going to be cool.
You're gonna be
for a
fine.
little
You're not gonna be
while.
broke.
Yeah.
Jay Moore and ours kept going, and if you comics make it past this, your money just doubled. Your money just tripled. He would throw out this random things, and I
Right.
just kept imagining that
it would?
in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well, I'll tell you, funny. This is a little off topic, but when I was in the top 5, and there's like a break that you go on before they pick up the actual filming of the top 5. So I had we had like a 3-month or
Oh, so
something.
they can show everything.
Yeah, so
Yeah, then
this
you're
thing's
caught
building
up
up.
to the
Then you get
tape
caught up to the
versions.
live point. So in that 3-month span, I was allowed to do like some touring, and I went to Laughlin, Nevada, and
Nice.
doing Don Laughlin's casino, right? And I was walking back to my room, and I saw this drunk lady who was pregnant and smoking a cigarette coming down the hallway. And I was like, oh,
Totally
fuck,
gotta hit
you know,
that.
I don't want to talk to this. I just put my head down. I don't want to be recognized. I was trying to just walk past her, and she looked at me and she goes, "Oh, I guess you didn't win, did you?" Like that. And I was like, no, it's not over. I'm in the top 5. I still have a chance. I mean, I need your vote. Blah blah blah. She goes, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Huh?" She goes, "I'm talking about that jet ski they're raffling off downstairs. You're up here. I guess you didn't win it." I felt like the biggest douchebag. So I just got played by a drunk, pregnant chick.
That fear always makes me, when somebody's like, I saw your set, and I want to go, thank you, but I'd be like,
Wait.
don't. They didn't say
Just
good or
acknowledge
bad.
it. Go, okay.
Oh, cool.
What did you think?
Yeah. I'm not going to be the guy that says thank
Never
you.
say thank you. Yeah.
Until there's an explicit comment.
Yeah.
Oh, I should say this. This is what I have to do for my podcast. It's annoying, but I have to take a break and say I have a sponsor.
Oh, nice.
you have a sponsor?
AdamandEve.com.
AdamandEve.com. I've heard of them.
They're a sex website, I guess. They
The
sell-
toys,
yeah.
dildos.
Yeah, toys,
that kind
dildos,
of stuff.
lingerie, lubricant,
Right.
all
Toy-
that sort of stuff.
Like do they have the
What?
the vagina?
Yeah, they have a rubber
Different
vagina.
kinds of
They have
vaginas?
They have the Fleshlight. They have the other brand rubber vaginas.
I've used a fake vagina one time. And
Have you really?
yeah, it feels nice, but it's a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
Like it takes time to get you gotta get that thing lubed up.
That's why I've always
you
been
gotta
a dry
put it
guy.
on. I'm a dry guy.
Yeah.
It's just quicker.
Except in hotel rooms, I'll get lubricant. That's it.
And if you got a lot of time to kill, there's nothing else to do.
And we're done with,
might as well get the lotion.
When you're done, you're not done with yours yet, are you?
No.
Yeah, when you're done with that, we have a.
Do we have a sponsor now?
So
Okay.
I'll let you.
All right.
Go ahead.
Well, if you go to adamandeve.com right now and at checkout put in ARI, that's my name, Ari, they give you 50% off one item.
Oh, nice.
And a free gift and 3 free DVDs, porno DVDs probably, and free shipping.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of cool
So
stuff.
why not? You can get your freak out little bag sent to your house and change it up with you. And
If you need a sex swing, I don't even know if they sell sex swings, but if they do. I actually went out with a girl once who said, like, she saw it in somebody's roof. She saw
The hook for
a
the
hook
swing?
for it, and she knew what that was. She was like, this guy's a
I'd
freak.
like to try one of those.
No, we bought
I bet
for
that'd be a
sex
lot of fun.
Yeah,
Sex
you push
swing.
them out. They get to have the wee moment.
Right.
And plow it.
Wait, have you seen this one? The
What?
baskets?
What
The
baskets?
spinning baskets?
too much
No.
work.
I haven't seen this. I heard someone tell me about this.
What's a spinning
Sounds
bas-
awesome.
Like a hammock?
Like, okay, you're the dude. You lay down. You got your boner, right? Sticking
Okay.
straight up. You get some hot little. sorry,
Dave, that
thank God.
belly is-
I've been working on it, man.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. I'm glad
39.
you are. I'm glad you are.
So I'm laying there.
hard.
So you're laying there and you got your boner, right? And now there's a chick in a basket
Yeah.
and who's naked.
Yeah.
And then the basket has already been spun, twisted a bunch. And so she lowers herself down onto your cock and then lets go of the basket and it just starts spinning.
So she spins around
She's just
you?
spinning on your cock.
Whoa.
I've heard of this. I haven't seen this.
Wouldn't
That
it
would
just
be
tear up her
interesting.
inside of her uterus?
No, it's just, you're not like, unless you have a huge cockers. I'm just saying. It's like
Well,
a,
that's
just
what I mean.
spin, just weird friction. If
so,
it
John,
does-
you can't do it. You're
Yeah,
too
I'm just saying. Let's
if the
say you
friction
did
is
do
too
some
great,
records.
If
Yeah.
the friction is too great, you wouldn't be able to stop in time. But by the time you realize, oh, it's hurting, you still have 7, 8 more spins.
Right.
before you can
Sorry. Well, maybe there's a guy with the rope that pulls her back up off your cock, I guess. I don't know.
Wow, that's interesting.
But it looks like you would need outside help with that one.
Maybe.
Because she's going to be in the basket already. You're going to be
It's
laying
like
there.
a carny
like
guy?
Spin them up as hard as you can, and then like let it go and see it like whirls
Right.
around.
Well, yeah, it's like you twist anything and you let it go, it's going to start twisting back.
Yeah.
So it's that whole thing.
No, I've never heard of the basket, but I'll look
yeah.
into it.
See if
now.
Adam and Eve has that.
Okay, I'll see if Adam and Eve has the basket.
No, we
section.
bought.
We'll have a basket party.
Honey.
Just kidding.
Yeah, we bought what like it's. Of course, we've been married, so I don't even know where these are. Are those pillows that are like triangles?
Yeah.
So you can lift up your back and
The
stuff.
Liberator.
Slide, and then you go.
I heard that's really
side-
way better for the woman when she's just lifted up. It's under her back, but you try to shove a pillow underneath there, and they don't get
The
it.
pillows are all like they're yeah, they can shoot her in different directions, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not any more work, but you.
Oh wow, that's cool.
But then then you have these extra pillows, and then you're like, these pillows actually work better playing PS3. Like where you're not laying
sure,
down,
that
but,
too.
but,
Yeah,
but
right.
it turns into like the
There's
game
no
room
rules. You
chair.
can't play video games with it.
Yeah, but then if anyone else comes over and playing Madden, you're like,
Oh.
can you not lean against that? Like it
Yeah.
becomes.
it's part of our marriage.
Yeah.
But then you
Don't
think
put
any
your head on
hotel-
my Liberator.
Any hotel chair you're sitting in at your laptop has equally seen more action than the Liberator.
That's true.
Pillow. So anyway,
Now, wait,
AdamandEve.com.
we have a sponsor
If they
now?
go in there and put in
ARI.
ARI,
At checkout,
you get a bunch. You get free shipping.
free shipping,
50%
free
off.
gift, 3 free DVDs, half off one item.
So why not? Like if you're gonna buy some freak out stuff
Oh, yeah, go
anyway,
there and get it.
you should bookmark it and always remember to put Ari's name in there.
Yeah,
Boom.
Just why not? And nothing comes from you.
I'm actually surprised. I'm like, that's a lot of free shit.
It is.
It is a lot of
Checkout,
free
That's
stuff.
like not bad.
Here's
Okay,
a-
what's the last podcast?
And last
sponsor?
podcasting right now, we'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Mercedes. Rolex? No, I'm just. I was just trying to think. What is? We
Well,
have.
we'll say
pants,
this
those
for you,
wristbands.
for those of you guys listening who want to advertise something. This is where we would talk about
We
you.
were talking about it right now, and see how long
Right
we
here.
talked about
That moment
Adam and
that
Eve.
How long do we talk about Adam and Eve? Probably
they
3
asked for like
minutes.
a minute, but like I'm like that's like 3
yeah.
minutes.
So there you go. You'd have at least another 3 minutes right here, but you didn't contact
But
us.
you didn't think about it.
So whoever that is, whoever our sponsor is going to be, let us know. Contact us.
Do we
at
want to keep
Last
going, or do we
Podcasting.
to take a quick?
No, we can pause it if you want it.
And no one will know.
Oh, there's
Well,
a.
they'll know now. But they'll be none the wiser when it comes back.
you
We
can't
totally
cut that
not. We
out.
totally actually. Let's not take a pre-break.
Should we actually? How much time have we done?
An hour 10.
Hour
that's
10?
easy.
That's pretty good. What? There's a. Speaking of DVDs.
Yeah.
Porn DVDs.
Yeah.
Do you watch a porn DVD?
I'm an internet guy.
It's all online now, right?
It's all online.
I mean, I'm surprised. There's right up on
another
Colfax
thing
and
to
Ventura. There's a porn store that's called AAA, All Ratings, Largest Selection, and it's going out of business. And I'm like,
Yeah.
finally, this thing is going out of business. Who goes
Yeah,
to these
who's
places?
still going? Who's getting magazines anymore?
Right.
Like the Yeah, I don't know.
I remember when I worked at a grocery store from about
The
14 to
internet's there.
21,
Yeah.
we'd get like our store didn't sell porn. But so you find somehow in the bottle room when you had to sort bottles, porn mags, like
Someone
swanks,
sneak one in
would
there.
show up in the back. And to this day, if I got a criminal sketch artist, I could probably almost recite every image to every picture that was in that magazine 25 years ago.
Yeah.
But now if that same magazine was in front of me, I wouldn't even. I would like,
Yeah.
like
I need to have moving images. We've been spoiled.
You
I
can't
used to
even
jerk
get me
off
to
the
look at it.
Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I need motion and penetration.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Yeah.
To this day, I like my first set of boobs that I saw that were
boobs.
unfamily related. This woman was reaching over for milk at my grocery store, and she didn't have like a bra on.
Oh.
And it was just a shirt.
Yeah.
You saw
Just hanging down.
You just saw it, and to this day, police lineup, I could probably say exactly what she looked
That's
like.
how it was for Mrs. Farber with me in fifth grade math teacher.
Really?
Mrs. Farber. God.
She didn't wear a bra or just had some big tits?
I don't think she wore a bra, but she would always lean over to help you with your math problems. And you'd be like,
Well, now with all the teachers hooking up with the students, like maybe that was
Yeah.
her thing.
You
But
had a
back
shot.
then,
going for it.
Maybe
For
that
a
was
Jewish
her
school
way
full
of-
fifth graders. None of us were going to make that move. And then the English teacher was Mrs. Ritro, and she seemed mean. She was an old lady.
She wasn't having it.
old lady, she was probably like 42.
She had gray hair. She
Oh,
probably did
okay.
now.
All right. She's
Did
probably
you
our
ever
age.
get flirted on by any teachers ever in your life? High school, middle
One
school?
time in college, I thought of asking out a TA.
Mm-hmm.
It was the grad student.
Right.
But it still would have been my
4
teacher.
years older than you?
Maybe
Two?
I was an older, because I was an older college kid.
Right.
So I went to Israel for a few years. So maybe less
By the
than
way,
10 years
Ari and
older.
John
Yeah.
almost touched hands, and it was an odd, uncomfortable moment right
I'll
there.
touch
Where
Ari,
they,
I don't mind.
okay, where they completely put it down. Like I saw it though, I completely saw it.
I was
We're
gonna,
not
I
recording
was,
this
I flirted with her because there's two things. One, it was like I could date my teacher. That'd be fucking rad. And
Yeah.
two, she was a black chick, and I was like,
Ooh.
two things.
Two things, one list. That's great. There was a girl
Should go for it.
in our high school who was the Spanish teacher. And
Yeah.
she was like the youngest teacher, like kind of new.
Yeah.
And every dude in that high school was like gaga over her. She's super cute
Yeah.
and cool and like
Because she was young.
didn't mind if you cut up a little bit as long as
Oh, really?
she'd get back on track. And
Oh, that's cool.
And I never had her class, but one of my buddies had her class. And then like there's this, school would end at like 3:00. And then the buses go first. You get like 10 or 15 minutes before
Walkers may
people
leave,
with
bus-
the cars
bus-
are allowed to drive home.
Yeah.
So for that 10, 15 minutes, I would just go to her class and hang out with my buddy.
And
And
look at
she'd
her.
be in there and just mess around and have flirt and,
Yeah, if you're an attractive high school teacher, you get
Yeah.
beaten off to way more than a regular
yeah,
attractive person.
totally, yeah. And then years later, I went back and I had this was I was in community college, I was maybe like 19, and I went to go to a home football game from the high school, and she was there.
High school. I was like, what community college is it?
No,
Yeah.
it was the old high schools, and she was there, and she said, "Hey, John," and she came up to me and she kissed me,
What
like
kind of kiss?
just mwah, like that.
On the lips?
Yeah, just
Whoa.
on the lips. And her husband was right there. She had a husband. But he didn't. He was like, he didn't care. But I just remember like, oh, my God. I've been thinking about this for years. And she just came up and did it like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Didn't even think twice.
'Cause you're an adult now.
But she never could have done that in high school because,
No, that's
taboo.
That
Although-
creeps you out the most after show when you're getting pictures and there's like a husband and wife team and the guy's like, I don't fucking need a picture with this guy. And he takes a picture and then the wife or girlfriend, like I've got to move. I make a fist and I put it on top of their shoulder. The
Yeah.
least like
The least hitting on. Yeah, there's always that thing too. When I'm
I-
touching a girl. It's like,
I don't do
I
this.
go for it.
I
I just
don't-
grab boob.
yeah. See, I'm envious.
Yeah, we're married guys, so we have to be careful.
I go close fist on top of shoulder.
Always
But I
put,
only, in all fairness, I only grab the like over the shoulder grab boob, but I only do that so that they won't notice my fingers coming to go up their vaginas.
Do you do that? Do you slowly on their back as you're walking away and just stick it down and go?
Yeah.
zip.
And I make a noise as it goes in.
So,
I don't do
ladies,
that. I
that's
don't do
Ari's
that. Please
move.
Don't do that. I don't do that. I don't do boob or the other.
Of course not. It's illegal. What else, guys?
Well, okay. What would you guys change about that stupid show, Last Comic Standing?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have any drama in there, which I think they did last time. It was just stand up.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had.
I
drama.
was lucky because there was no house we had to live in.
Okay.
There was no we had challenges and still, but they really made the competition more about stand up my
That's good.
season than
That's
they
good.
did any other season that I'm aware of.
that.
But so I was I don't know how do you change it. It's primetime network. You can't really
Assuming
say
that stays. You can't say put it on HBO because you could, but
let's just say it's on NBC.
Yeah. Could you allow cursing and beep it, or that's not even? They wouldn't even do that.
Well, even like American Idol, there's no house and there's no stupid little challenges. It's more like there is a house, but there's no competition in that house.
They just show them like singing and stuff.
Yeah, they're just goofing off. So maybe less competition on the reality side of shit, and make the competition just about stand up. But then you can't really do that because people vote for who they like anyway.
That is a problem.
We had house, we had challenges, house, and performing.
Yeah.
Where we had to perform in front of little kids. Mm-hmm. We had to do, I forgot some of the other random challenges that we did.
Tough. We did a heckle challenge. You did a heckle challenge?
A heckle challenge. So lame because it's contrived hecklers. It's not like who's better at dealing with it. It's like that's a guy who's supposed to be there.
Yeah.
It's not a drunk who just acts up.
But what it did on ours is it got people into you or not into you based on your personality. Where the other episodes, you had 3 people come out. Here's my 2-minute bit, and then you're done. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they didn't build on any like I kind of like this guy or because they made villains on our show. Here's this guy. Here's this guy. Here's their Detroit guy.
I would have just reality and then no contest. Leave the contest part out of it. So just like have them all in a house, do the challenges, do whatever, but nobody gets voted off. Or you get voted off based on the challenges, and everybody gets to perform each week.
So the last person to stay gets a prize?
Maybe.
I mean, is there something in it?
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe
I would just watch the same 5 comics.
Everyone's doing it really just be on TV the longest.
Right.
That's the main thing. It's way better to be second than it is to be 10th.
Or just pay everybody the same. Like, all right, once you get in the top 10, there's no prize. Yeah. You're all going to get paid the same.
Yeah, if you need to ask people to leave, make it like real world.
You could have the audience pick.
There's not going for anything.
On ours, we had the audience had a monitor. That's how you decided. So you would challenge people, and then you'd go up. So it was me and whoever, and the audience that was there that night.
Yeah.
They voted.
They did that on season 2.
So you could just do that every night, and if the audience decides, but
I hate the idea.
That's a better measure of how
than what they saw on the reality show.
Right.
Just that
people
night,
in that room and that audience right then and there.
Who had a better set? And it's just, and then you just.
And you don't get to invite anybody because I remember when Gary Gulman was in it, saying April Macy up front, and I was like, "Motherfuck, she's dating him. Of course she's going to vote for him."
Right. That's not fair.
Yeah. Like, how many of these people are? I would do it.
Wait,
I don't like the idea of a contest for stand-up. For any sort of art form, it's like just preference. Like I said about that chef, it's just preference. So who cares?
It's apples and oranges. I mean, you really can't.
But there needs to be.
I mean, it's ridiculous to say that, and I'm making fun of this. This is part of my little act now. Is I'll say like, thanks to your votes, I was able to say that I'm the best comedian in the world for 1 year. Just 1 year. I don't know where I stand now, but it's ridiculous to say. I mean, it's just so subjective. It's dumb. Were you guys going to do a challenge like halfway in the podcast? We're light up.
Let's do that. Hey, all right.
We're back.
We're back. Yeah, we took a break.
We took a quick break.
You wouldn't have known if you didn't say anything.
I think they would have. I forgot what we said right before.
There was a weird sort of ending. It was. There's no way to pick up exactly the same thing we were doing.
There's a way, but it would take preparation.
To kill somebody.
I heard you guys talking about flossing.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this, because I do this to Genta. I've brought this up to Genta before. If you have a dentist appointment and you're going in that day just for a random checkup to get your teeth cleaned, do you brush your teeth extra hard that day?
I will, yes.
See, I do the opposite.
You brush less?
I'm like, you work for it. I'm paying you. Get in there, clean this shit. I might not even floss. I might have a pizza and some prime rib and have some stuff in between teeth. You get in there and earn your money. That's how I look at it. It's like, why would you wash your car and then take it to the car wash?
I don't want to brush too hard or floss if I don't usually, because I don't want to give them a false impression of what my teeth usually look like. I want them as my doctor to help me.
Yeah.
And to know.
That's what that's what I'm saying. Like, don't wash your car and then take it to the car wash.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. John, your thoughts?
Yeah, John. What are your thoughts on flossing?
He's eating. He's like, what's flossing?
Yeah, no. I brush a little bit more, but they know. And I have dentist friends that they know. But it's just out of common, you know what I mean?
Courtesy.
Yeah, if you're about
be nice.
If you're
still going to be in your mouth.
I think your dogs think these microphones are sticks.
Yeah. They think that they're balls you should toss.
Is that Ruby? Which one's that?
That one's Brutus.
Brutus.
Yeah, he looks like a chick.
Brutus.
He's the one that looks like a chick. That's why I gave him the name Brutus, to macho him up a little bit.
You used to think it was a Pomeranian, right?
We think he's a Pomeranian. He's when we got him, they said he was Pomeranian, but he's a little bigger than most Pomeranians.
And he can jump up on shit. Most Pomeranians they do the paw
DNA test him.
He does that, but he can jump. He'll get up on top of the recliner sometimes and just hang out, perch up there, and then jump from there off into the ground. I mean, he's
DNA test him.
You have cool dogs.
I did that to mine.
I just don't care.
I don't care what
it's a lot of money.
I know he's
How much does that cost?
It's $30-some.
30?
You swab them.
And then you know for sure what they are?
And you send it in, and then the dog can live a life with an identity instead of you might be.
You don't have to give him a shot or anything?
No, they get their spit.
Oh, well, that's much easier.
Yeah, you just swab it and send it.
I was on the fence of whether or not you should do it. And now
It's $30. That sounds pretty.
They sell it at Petco just as you're leaving. There's a DNA testing
now we're
kit.
definitely going to do that.
Okay, argument's over.
I thought it was like millions of dollars to get it done.
No.
Like cloning something.
No.
I have one last question about Last Comic Standing, you guys.
Okay.
How did other comics treat you? You were both LA comics at the time, right? How did the rest of the comics treat you? It must have changed.
You mean out here, just on the road, or in general?
No, the people you saw out here.
I think most people were happy for me, because I'm always Mr. Nice Guy anyway, so I've never pissed off anybody. So they're always like, oh, cool. They knew me. They're like, we knew John did the road for a long time. He came out here, and he paid his dues, and now he won Last Comic Standing. So generally, I think most people were happy for me. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of people who I don't know who are also comics who talk shit and didn't like that or are jealous or whatever. But I don't hear it. So if I don't hear it, then
I know at the comic store we all
exist.
saw you kill all the time, so we're just like, oh, finally someone deserving. Like that should be. That's a thing that should be.
Yeah. So I felt
opposed to Heffron.
No,
well, they just didn't know you. They didn't know you. You never came to the Comedy Store.
Right.
When Dat became the first one, like he couldn't do an hour. He couldn't do the hour. He had to tell his features to go longer because he wasn't ready.
Yeah.
So it's nicer when like someone was like, oh, they've already been headlining.
Yeah, I would hear like the side people, but I never had a comedy crew because I was such a road guy in Detroit, and then I lived in Chicago, and then moved out to L.A., but then always did colleges in the road, and only performed when I had to showcase for a network person.
Yeah.
So I never had a group of comics. I had no friends.
You had-
I mean, so I didn't have that
You
crew
had
anyway.
you had friends, but not like.
And then
comic
I was
friends.
on the season where there was some problem during one of the things where they said it was rigged. Like the whole thing was.
right.
They said it was rigged?
Yeah, my
Brett
season was
Butler?
the big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that fucking Natterman
They walked off.
Yeah.
was Natterman.
Natterman was the
Yeah,
he's
so
like, I
I was
killed
on the
them. It was
season.
like-
They said it was rigged, but it was like for
The producer
even
didn't
showed
like
that.
Natterman for some reason, and Brett Butler and who
Drew
else?
Carey.
Drew Carey did, and they picked him.
They were like, hold on, wait, why didn't he? I
Yeah.
picked him and she picked him, so what the fuck?
Yeah, It's
Yeah,
like,
and then
they
the
should have
blue
known.
thing. Then they said,
Producers run shit.
Yeah.
You guys are just figureheads.
Because you're just judging their art form, but we
Yeah,
don't
and
use
then
their
after that
scores.
season, I would get a lot of comics going, yeah, but that show was rigged, and then I would go because I kind of felt the person. I'm like, for what?
until people voted. Once people started voting,
or the
on
show
home,
that
then
they were
it wasn't
gonna
rigged.
It's not
that
rigged.
they were gonna give me after. Have you seen one comic who's one last comic that's gotten their name on a? It's never happened. So who is it rigged? Well, it's just casted. Yeah, like every other TV show in the history of TV shows.
The
Yeah.
Jersey
It was
Shore
casted.
people are just actors.
Yeah, the first
They don't talk
12
that
people
way.
on American
They're not-
Idol.
They don't act like that.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, I'd love to find that out. That'd be hilarious.
It is. No, it's true. This is what I've heard. That people that
Oh,
were
really?
in that for casting, they're all from New York. They're theater guys, and they came down
Oh,
to
that's
try out for it.
funny.
Do the most Guido.
I wonder what they're like.
They're the same. I have a buddy that.
But they're not
produces
great
that show.
actors.
No.
They just were trying to be.
Yeah. And they're just amping up their Guido side.
Yeah,
a
one of
little
them's
bit.
like Mexican.
None of them's Italian.
None of them?
No, I've been situations.
No.
No?
That was. I remember seeing that none of them are legitimately Italian.
That's funny.
Fuck that. When I was raised, the main man was.
Yeah, no, you
care.
can't. How about
Italians are one of the
Godfather
worst
2?
of the whites. They're one of the worst.
Italians?
Yeah. Not Italians per se, but the ones that act extra Italian, the ones that try to act
The
like themselves.
machismo side
Yeah,
of it.
when you can't tell if someone's Armenian, yeah, you're pretty cool. Well, oh, I didn't know that. But like the ones that can't tell you're but the ones that try to go that, it's the worst.
I see. Speaking
Yeah.
of Italians, I see
None
Henry
of the
Hill.
whites are that bad.
Henry Hill, the guy they wrote the
Yeah.
Goodfellas movie about.
Yeah.
At my Target, riding around on one of those little old people carts, that little motorized motorcycle.
Really? You saw him?
I see him almost every time I go to my Target.
You recognize him?
Oh yeah, I did completely know who he was.
Did he know who you were?
No, he doesn't.
He's like,
But
"You're-
I just see
you're
that
John
whole
Heffron from
Goodfellas
Last
movie.
Podcasting.
It's such a great movie, and
Yeah.
then cut to 30 years later, you're a really old guy in Target driving around on one of those little carts.
Right.
Is what's
Still can't walk.
He was a rat. Fuck him. I won't do a show with him. He was a rat.
Brutus, our dog,
That's what I heard
is.
somebody tell me once.
Yeah, we have 2 dogs. And just so you, for the listeners at home on Skeptic Tank and Last Podcasting,
Yeah.
we're doing this one. We're not in. We're actually not sitting in the Death Squad studios this time. We're sitting in my living room. John Heffron is in the recliner. Me and Ari are sitting on the couch. We got 2 little doggies running around, and we got a leg lamp to the right from the movie Christmas Story.
Christmas Story.
By the way, you said Toy Story.
I was about to. Yeah.
Now, do you remember the movie The Toy with Richard Pryor?
Yeah, it was a great movie.
Have you tried to look at? That's why I bring it up. Have you seen it lately?
No.
It is the most racist thing ever.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Look how happy I just got. That's so wrong.
You have to watch it again.
Okay, wow.
Because the kid comes in and goes, I want the black man.
Yeah.
I want that for Christmas. I want my daddy to buy me the black man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's straight up really kind of.
I always say this.
That movie could not be made today.
Sanford and Son, where they get away with saying some stuff, they just drop straight N-bombs on Sanford and Son. That's straight. And you're like, whoa. And it's like, I'm not going to say I don't want to use that word normal, but I like when people use it. Like, that's a good racist joke, whatever he said. Oh, I'm definitely going to watch that again.
You have to watch it. I just was flipping through it, and I saw, I remember liking this movie. Let me watch this again. I was like, whoa. Yeah, it's good.
There's all those movies that couldn't, like the original Bad News Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's such a
what
good
do they
movie.
say? Simone always quotes lines from that. I'm like, it's just the most racist, horrible things. And I'm like, that's Bad News Bears?
Yeah,
really?
Tanner Boyle
like
shouting out the N-word.
Yeah.
Biggs, like he would throw out anything. It's literally like a little kid saying those, and no one has a problem.
I gotta watch that one again because
the original
Walter Matthau, right?
Oh, it's so good.
He just went for it.
Tanner
Boyle
Boyle
like
is the greatest character ever.
And then what was the girl that won? That was a good hitter.
Who was the girl?
The good pitcher. That was the girl. Her dad was Tatum O'Neal.
Tatum O'Neal.
And she was just playing a lesbian. Like that was what she did.
Right.
Looking back, that's just a lesbo role.
That's what it was, yeah.
There'd be gender bending. They'd have to cast it too pretty, and people would be like, no, you show the real fucking the dykes.
And the creepiest looking guy, the kid who was like a little bit older, that was like the good baseball player.
Oh, the one who rode a motorcycle?
I gotta watch that movie too.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen that,
I haven't seen either one. I'm watching old movies now, like just Dumb and Dumber. Not old, but old from when I was little.
Yeah.
Billy Madison. I
always loved Billy. Billy Madison to me is the best Adam Sandler movie he's ever
Billy
done.
Madison, Happy Gilmore, and then a huge drop off, and it gets all like serious, like
I liked Happy Gilmore, but Billy Madison made me laugh harder.
Oh, we talked about that.
He's such a retard in Billy Madison.
Yes.
He's such a retard.
When he's talking gibberish at the table?
He's just screaming. You can tell they're just riffing all the time and enjoying each other's company.
Just to stop looking at me, Swan. That made me laugh.
Oh, I see what's happening here.
I see what.
He's the Swan, the penguin.
The penguin. Oh, I see. Please proceed.
Like, how can I say this more dumb? How can I say this more stupid?
He's going to shit when he finds out he stepped in the shit.
You ruined it.
Such a great movie.
I can't say you saw. Did you Sandlot? Right, we were talking about that.
You guys are talking about. Well, we were watching football the other day, but I haven't seen that.
Oh
movie.
my God,
I saw
Sandlot.
it once, like 7, 8, 10 years ago. And it was
I can't.
great.
There's certain
It made
words
me
I
cry
can't
again.
say correctly because of that movie.
Is Sandlot?
I can't say the word forever. Is how I have to say that.
Why? Because some kid said it that way in Sandlot. Is it basically a modern day Little Rascals? The Sandlot.
God, it's so good. It's just good all the way around.
Yeah,
man.
I guess. Yeah,
Killing Me Smalls.
Yeah, maybe.
They're all like little kids, and they're the main
Bill
character.
Cosby, by the way, bought all the Little Rascals because they were too racist, and he said, no one will ever see these again.
Well, too late, because guess what? For Christmas one year, my wife went out and got me all of them.
The DVDs?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And I remember we were watching on the plane one time. We were sitting on the plane watching Little Rascals on my computer.
Really?
And someone behind us like tapped me on the shoulder and pointed at the screen and was like, just like giving us a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that was remember those? Those were great. And I was nervous for a minute, like somebody's going to say, like, this is racist, turn that off.
So now you're a racist just for enjoing the non-racist parts, too. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the fucking kid with this, he had a spike in his hair.
Very
Everyone's a
racist,
nerd.
though. It's very racist.
Yeah.
It's hilarious, though.
Time or series of shows I've ever bought, I bought Soul Train.
Really?
You ever see those late night
I
commercials?
wouldn't even watch that when it was on. I gave it like
What?
10 minutes. I'm like, this is too.
Well, you didn't grow up outside
You
of
bought
Detroit.
what?
Soul Train?
What is that? I mean, Soul Train.
The dance
You
show that
bought
was
like
on.
a DVD of
It's
an
all
episode of it.
from the
Time Life. Right. Okay.
Because for me, you'd watch the Soul Train lines, but it came on about 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
and I would see my mom on the weekends. And so I'd watch cartoons. You'd wake up for Saturday morning cartoons. When Soul Train was on, that's when my mom was getting ready to take me out. So she's like in the shower, getting ready to take me to the mall. So I'd sit and watch Showtime. So it kind of Soul Train. So it reminds me of that time. So when I watch it or whatever, I immediately get in a good mood and think.
I see those Time Life book commercials where it's like Time Life book. It's now. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to my computer and download this right now.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
I can get it right here. Right. Oh yeah, I forgot about that song. Yeah. Thank you, Time Life. I'll get it for free.
Yeah.
Remember those old books? The ones, the Old West. Ain't nothing left of it now, but a few broken down buildings and lots of memories. Time Life. Did you ever see those ones? Or are you guys too young for that?
Which one?
They were like a leather bound, like first hit. The gunfighters. John West was so mean he once shot a man just for snoring.
That's what the old commercials when there were 4 channels on too.
Yes, right. That was usually on like 50, like the Benny Hill.
You had to use the other knob with more channels. You had to take that one to the U, and then move that one down there to the 50. Yeah, I remember those.
Those were good.
I was telling a girl that she was over. And I could see the look in her face, like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's my wife half the time. We have a 9-year difference, so if I'm talking about something from my childhood, she's like,
it wasn't like when I was 19 or anything.
She's like, who's Huey Lewis?
Yeah. Gotta watch the news.
Hey, I'm high-fiving you all on that one. I like that,
thanks. I saw them in Ottawa this year.
I would love to see.
Me and Jay Ogerson, they were playing the Blues Fest.
Really?
And we did comedy there. We watched it, yeah.
Can he still sing?
They're great.
Every corporate guy I've ever worked with.
A shitload of B+. They're all like, oh, yeah, that's not bad, this song. I remember this.
That's the power of love.
Yeah.
Said that he's a tool. I sat next to the guy from Cheap Trick on the plane. Mm-hmm. Recently.
Did
you
talk to him?
About Cheap Trick. Like, I was like, oh, my God, it's the lead singer of Cheap Trick. And he let me know he was in Cheap Trick.
Oh, really?
Almost, like, within seconds. And then we had, like, a cool
Southwest
conversation.
I never listened to Van Halen, but Simone did. And one time, Diamond Dave.
Yeah.
He was at the Comedy Store talking to me and Rogan and somebody else. And Simone was like, I almost came in my pants just watching you guys.
Right. Like, Simone probably couldn't even talk to him. He was so nervous.
Yeah, he did. I don't think he did.
Yeah.
That's how I got. Dave Grohl goes there, and I just sort of stand there by him, and then I walk away.
Yeah. David Lee Roth was huge.
Who's your biggest celebrity you ever saw or came across that had like the biggest aura? Like where you're like, oh, sometimes like real famous guys, you're like, there's a weird energy where you're like.
I was working the electronics show at the whatever they had, not the Staples Center, but the place next to it, Forum, and fucking Damon Wayans and his brother Keenan Ivorians walked by, and I was like, they just look different than regular people.
Yeah,
I noticed
he works
it. I
out
was
at
like,
my gym.
That's funny. You talk to him?
No.
I see him at my gym every day, and I never say anything to him.
Really?
Which one? Keenan?
The oldest brother.
The Keenan's the old one, right?
Keenan, yeah. But that was right when I moved out here, and I was such a humongous fan.
Yeah. Wow.
My wife said Sting has that. She was at a party. It was Brad Pitt, Sting, like some huge mogul, and Sting started talking to her. Her wife was with the catering company. Mm-hmm. Started talking to her for like a long time, and she said, "I don't even know. I knew he was someone like. How do you not know who Sting was?"
I think Travis Tritt came into the Comedy Store and one dude recognized him. He was just as covered with guys
Travis
nuts. Everyone else like, what? Who cares? I don't know.
I used to have a buddy. He was in a band when I did radio.
Jen is like, I don't know who Travis Tritt is. I'm
a country guy. I might even be getting the name wrong. It might have been somebody else.
No, that's a country singer.
This guy was in this band, Blessed Union of Souls. Yeah. Remember that song? They had so many. They had
it's still.
She's in love with a black man because I believe the love is the answer. And then I want to be there when the morning comes.
God, I don't
want to be there.
Is this rock and roll or R&B?
It's top 40 when
top
I played
40.
it. Anyway, so they probably had 6 or 7 top 10 hits. So you would, if I played you 5 songs, you'd go, oh, I've heard this.
Oh, right.
So we would go into karaoke bars and I'd get drunk and I'd put his name down. Mm-hmm. And he'd get up, and I'd make him sing one of his songs at karaoke. And every time people come up and go, "You sound just like the guy. We have a contest every Tuesday. You should come on by." He was cool enough to do it every time, though.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Sing your own stuff, but it was so – nobody knows – if you've heard maybe the 700 of their songs, but you would never know anybody who was in the band.
still get a little weird whenever I say celebrity. It's still fucking.
Vince Vaughn was for me.
Oh yeah, when I saw him, I remember that. That's right.
Because he's tall anyway.
Yeah.
And I guess tall, famous people have a little bit more of an aura because you're already looking up to them.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Physically, you are actually looking up to them a little bit. But Vince Vaughn, what is he? Oh, you're 6'2"?
I'm 6'3".
What is he?
He's like 6'5".
6'5". He's up there.
6'4", but I think 6'5".
We were hanging out with.
He used to come to the store.
He used to come to the store. But the first time I met him, we were hanging out with Steve Renazizi. Yeah, and he knew him from. How did he know him? No, it was Ahmed.
Ahmed knew him. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Steve knew him too somehow. I guess through Ahmed.
It just he came around.
Yeah.
Steve knows how to talk about show business because he's in it, really.
Yeah.
And we all like your words.
Apparently, it's Steve that knows. Yeah. I don't. Well, anyway, they were like, "Well, do you guys want to meet?" I think Ahmed said, "Do you want to meet Vince Vaughn?" I was like, "Well, sure, I'd love to." He goes, "All right, well, he's going to come here to this certain bar, but they're going to close the bar down. Yeah. They're going to let us hang out for a little bit, and then he's going to show up."
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then he came with Peter Billingsley.
Yeah. We saw him. He came to the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. He was at the Comedy Store, and somebody said, because he directs
the Christmas
now.
Story.
Yeah.
Well, he was in A Christmas Story. He directed Elf.
Yeah, and he directed the Vince Vaughn Wild West Comedy Tour.
Right.
That Vince Vaughn was in and stuff. Anyway, he came to the store, and the word got out, like, dude, Peter Billingsley from the Christmas Story is here in the bathroom, and before he got out, there was like 8 dudes around the bathroom waiting for him. He came out, and everyone within a second stared at him and then popped their heads away. I think I realized what they were doing.
He was really cool. Those are our dogs going off in the background.
Definitely barked because you heard nothing outside.
They do not like Peter Billingsley.
Stupid.
We can't say that name in here anymore. The dogs are going to shit. They hate that movie because it's on a loop and it's playing a lot. You shoot your eye. So he came with Vince Vaughn, and Peter Billingsley showed up. And I didn't know that it was Peter Billingsley because all I knew was he's a kid from A Christmas Story, and he's older now. He's a grown man. He doesn't look like that kid anymore. So I didn't know. I was at a bar hanging out with Vince Vaughn and Ahmed and some other people. I think Steve was there too, and we're all just getting hammered. And they're playing like old school country, like Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, all this old school shit. Yeah. And we're all like singing it to each other, like almost like a competition, like who knows more words to this song than the other guy. So then this blonde-headed dude walks up and he starts singing a country song with me, and before I know it, we're like doing like this. We're old chums, we're old pals, and I didn't know it was him for the longest time. And I found out
so
later.
You guys act normal.
Yeah, exactly. So, but then later I was like, oh, cool. I was just fucking bonding with Peter Billingsley. So that was awesome.
Yeah, very nice. That's how I met Tina the Others. We started dating.
Oh, that's right. And to remind our listeners who Tina Yothers is again.
Tina Yothers was the girl from Family Ties, the youngest.
The blonde one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The youngest one.
Yeah. Saw her at a bar, didn't know who she was. She was at the table next to ours, Cat and Fiddle, and we started talking. And so then we went on a date. When I realized who she was, we already started hitting it off at that point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Just one date?
No, we went out for a little while.
Yeah?
Yeah. This is what I told everyone at the Comedy Store. I don't know why. I started this live once a long time ago. And I had my friends leave me messages. My female friends.
That whole thing was a lie?
Yeah.
You never went out with
her. I just remember the name Tina Yothers and then convinced everyone that I'd been hanging out with her.
I believed you.
Yeah.
You ass. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
wait, I think you showed me a picture though.
Yeah.
You found it online?
I'm really good. When I get into this lie has my spy mode.
Oh my
I get
God!
really into
I
it.
thought you were about to talk about that time.
Yeah,
before you told us that story though, did you just say, "Here's a lie I used to think"?
No.
The whole time you were talking, I'm like,
he's
completely. Oh, I did. I didn't.
Yeah, I can sell it, man.
I think I've told other people that.
I started. Yeah. I said I looked her up. I knew she had black hair. She's in this band.
Right.
I said because I knew people would double check me, and if you double check me, you were fucking getting triple checked because I was there with the details.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
We eventually.
So you never met her
because she got engaged, and I was like, "Fuck, this has got to end now."
Oh, you found out she got engaged.
Yeah. So then
you ended it.
Yeah, and then I said she wanted me to move in. And it got fucking weird, and then people a few weeks later were like, "Dude, she got engaged." I'm like, "What?" 2 weeks after we broke up.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Did any girls talk to you because you're dating Tina
Yothers?
That's a great one, though. That's a good one to pick, Tina Yothers.
Thank you. Thank you
it
very
really
much.
Is.
Gettable.
That's because
she was cast when she was a cute little girl. She blossomed into an okay-looking woman.
You never do the math to think like how old is she
and
actually?
She's not like big enough to be like Blossom. Like Blossom was huge.
Yeah.
This girl, she was
sister.
a big show, but not like a big part.
It made Michael J. Fox. He was the guy.
Yeah, he was the guy. That's so funny.
She was the sixth person on that show.
If you would have said you went out with Michael J. Fox, I would not have never believed you.
It was so great. I don't know why I started that lie. I have no idea. But I sold it for like 5 to 6 months.
Damn.
No, another one you could do.
I'm disappointed that it's not true.
Yeah, me too a little now. I said it so many times I started I could see it in my mind. I could see it.
You actually tricked yourself into believing it. Yeah. That happens.
You could easily start one like pick a celebrity and go, I was roommates with him or her when I first moved out here. And start a whole side life.
Yeah.
Who would yours be?
Oh, wow, on the spot?
Yeah.
You guys put some time into it. Well, oh, God, go ahead. You got one?
No, I don't know. Oh, I know who I always say I am. No, is that kid from the Wonder Years.
So the one that people think Marilyn Manson is that kid?
Became, yeah.
You had a rib removed?
So who would you do?
I don't know.
Him, though.
I don't know. I got to think of someone. It's got to be someone close to your age, right?
It's a tough one. And then if you go like way off the thing, like Tom Cruise, no one's going to believe you.
I might go Eric Stoltz.
Eric Stoltz. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
People are like, wait, which one is he?
Well, he was the guy who played
You ever
Mask.
hear stories of like Robin Williams? Yeah, it was Christopher Reeve was my college roommate, and you'd hear that, and you're like, oh, can you imagine those two living? So you can just make.
Yeah.
I need to.
When I first moved to L.A., Eric Stoltz had like a 2-bedroom condo, and he was renting it out, and I crashed there, for a month. He's the nicest guy, though.
You guys look like
I'm just going with it.
Like yeah, no, we'll add to the story. We'll get it into your subconscious so you think it's true. So and then
he's got red hair too, so we had to let him.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, remember we used to always talk about that.
Yeah,
we come home and be like, "Hey, Red, is that you?" It's like, "It sure is
it's
Red."
me, it's Red.
Yeah, and our neighbors will be like, "Do you guys
quit hogging the mirror? No, just look at me. It's the same thing."
Yeah, you throw a few details in.
Yeah, did it get weird after Mask?
No, after Mask, he was so pissed off because in Mask, no one actually knew it was him because he had to wear all that makeup.
Oh, wow.
And he was great in Mask, but no one knew it was him. So, he got paid well and critically acclaimed among his peers, but the regular public had no clue it was him.
And is that when he booted you out?
Yeah.
Is that when he booted you out once he's on
actually, that was a good time because he was hardly ever there. He was always on location.
He made it while he was shooting that movie. He did that while you guys were roommates?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then that was after that.
It only took like 2 weeks to do it. You know how it doesn't take long to get your one part. They shoot all your scenes and get it over with.
Oh.
Yeah, wow. He was gone for 2 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They work around Cher's schedule. He kept complaining about how Cher was such a bitch. Played his mom at the time.
That would be a good one. That would totally be a good one to do.
Because then everybody would you bring that up once, and
it would get out, and it would come up like, oh,
okay. Here's what you got to do. You have to look and see because we're at the same club.
Other people would stick up for you.
Here's how quick you can see.
No, dude, it's I know because I know.
That's so funny.
You say it to a door guy, and then when one of us comes around the next time, you go, "Who is here? Oh, was Heffron here, or was Reep here, or?" Yeah. Did you know his roommate was? Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah,
and they would Pete shit.
Yeah.
Like door guys are notorious for.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys cool? You're not going to say anything? No, bro. We do this every week. No one's going to say anything. And then you hear, oh, I heard you motherfuckers.
Right.
You
If
said
you want something said, tell the door guy.
Yeah, tell the door guy and just go. Yeah, I don't tell a lot of people.
That's free advertising.
That's a good one, Eric's.
I never think that when some door guy's sharing like secrets to somebody. I never be like, oh, really? I never think like, hey, idiot, whatever you say, he's going to share with people.
Yeah, to be the next guy. Oh, dude, totally, boy. And you're like,
you guys, sorry, we're at capacity. We can't let anyone else in here. John Reep's in here, and he used to be roommates with Eric Stoltz.
Who would yours be?
Who I'd say? Well, the Tina Yothers is not bad.
Tina Yothers, that's where it started. You got to pick one. Who's yours?
I was throwing it off because I was trying to think, do you go crazy?
Simone used to say this. His credit was, I was the gooch on Different Strokes.
Different Strokes, the gooch. Which one was the gooch?
The bully.
I vaguely remember the gooch.
Yeah.
That's good, though.
Here's what he'd find. People would say, like, yeah, I remember you from that, whatever. And he would say, not only did I not remember me from that, the gooch was only referenced. He never appeared on Different Strokes. So people were like, yeah,
that's why I couldn't think of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. When I first moved out here, I had one of my cousins.
Yeah.
And my parents were like, you should just ask him if you could stay and stuff like that. And I'm like, kind of, because he was kind of famous.
Oh, really? You have a famous cousin?
Yeah, like on my stepmom's side, but still.
Right.
So when I first got out here, met him for lunch at Jerry's, and he's like, how long you can be out here for? I'm like, I'm on the road a lot and stuff like that. And he goes, well, you can totally just stay at my place. And that guy, Jack Wagner.
Jack Wagner.
Really?
Now, who's
Which
that?
one is he? From Melrose Place?
It's at Melrose Place.
He was the late
He had an
addition of
80s
Melrose
song.
Place.
He had an 80s
Was he on
song.
like Dynasty or something before
was
that?
all-
How do you talk to an angel?
No, that wasn't him.
Okay.
Jack's song was
Eddie Murphy. When, what was it? We got party all the time.
My girl wants to.
no. See,
They
I
get
can't-
one hit of them. Whenever they cross over, they get one hit allowed, and then it's like,
And
no,
then it's,
nigga,
get back
done
to what you were doing, please.
Jack Wagner's was kissing you was not what I had planned.
Oh, wow.
Now I'm not so sure just where I stand. I wasn't looking for true love.
Hold the hand
Now you're looking at me. You're the only one I could think of. You're the only one I need.
I sort of remember the last part.
Yeah.
I need
There it is.
just a little more time to be sure what I feel is
Are we popping?
That's all right. I just turned it down.
gotta
I
be
just realized, like,
We're pretty
Nah,
loud.
see, but Jack,
I did
you're
wrong.
Eric.
Down
What's
a
his
little
face?
I didn't know that was Jack. I didn't know that was your cousin who sang that song.
Yeah.
oh, wow.
Not as believable
Did
as
you
yours.
see him? It's hard
It took me a minute to find out who that was.
But when things pop into your head, you'll realize, oh, that's a perfect timing. He wasn't famous about 2 years before I was out there.
That's great.
Yeah.
Perfect. And he's
You
around
gotta-
my age.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because the story, which is a true story that I tell, the person who got me into stand-up comedy went to open mics, was in love with a waitress. She says, are you going to do open mics? And I was like, yeah, of course I would. And I just sat in her section, was Lucy Liu.
Really?
From Charlie's Angels. That's a true story.
Wow.
So I could
Before
almost
she was
use-
famous.
What?
Before she was famous,
She was,
too.
she was a waitress.
Waitress.
At a comedy club
Where? In Detroit?
in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Nice.
Tom Rhodes has a great story about Louis Anderson, and I'm not going to tell it, but if anybody out here sees Tom Rhodes, sees him going into a comedy club, say, please tell the Louis Anderson story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's so fucking good.
Okay.
But that
Right
was
now,
when he was,
to do a little
just
test.
Just started comedy. He came out here on a trip, like he was like 6 months in or something.
Mm-hmm.
Met Louis Anderson. Then
Then the
yeah,
story.
the rest.
So, I saw Tom Rhodes in Amsterdam once.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see him perform.
Oh,
I
you can
saw
also
him
say that?
on the street.
Oh,
No,
really?
it's true. Yeah,
You
yeah.
just walk past him?
It was me and Jeff and a couple other guys in Amsterdam, and Tom Rhodes was on the corner. He lived there for a while.
Yeah.
Like he moved there for
Oh,
a while.
yeah, he was doing stand.
Yeah, and so it was like, I think that's Tom Rhodes over there. And he was cussing out a homeless guy because this same homeless guy kept like asking him for money, and he kept giving him money, and then he's like, "Dude, you can't keep asking me all the time. There's other people here, man." But every time you say Louis Anderson, I can't think of anyone but Jeff Richards
Just does
doing
that impression.
Louis. Because Jeff Richards is the best Louis Anderson
Yeah.
of anybody. I don't know anybody else who ever did Louis Anderson impression.
No, not really.
Who'd you guys say it was? Eric Roberts?
Eric Stoltz was
Eric
my
Stoltz?
guy.
Eric
For those
Roberts
of you
was
listening,
bad.
this would
Eric
be a
Roberts, but he's too old though.
This would be a good way to see, actually, if you've stuck around and stuff. If you could tweet at John Reep or at Last Podcasting, just say, I can't believe Eric Stoltz was your roommate.
Yeah. Let's see if we
Just
get
to
that
see
lie
who's
going.
whatever.
Just found out at John Reep was roommates with
Yeah.
Eric Stoltz,
Eric
pretty
Stoltz.
cool.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty cool.
No one who doesn't listen to this
Well, no.
will know.
Right.
So just
you
get
guys
it.
can help us spread this lie. They're
But wait,
hilarious.
if they do it too much, will it get out too much?
How do we do it so that it ends up on Perez Hilton or TMZ or something like that?
You got to go way south with it.
Yeah, there's got to be something nasty happen, huh?
Like Corey Feldman is saying, is he the one alive still? Other Corey's?
Yeah, Corey Feldman is
He's
still
coming
alive.
out with a book.
Tell-all book, like Screech
with
did.
The two, he says there's a bunch of Hollywood moguls that touched him.
Right.
And he's
When he was
coming
a
out.
kid- when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, but that sucks, and you know, because somebody said, yeah, the two Corys were passed around a lot at parties. Was this actress's
They're
quote?
like hors d'oeuvres on a plate just being passed around.
And you know that
Wow.
shadiness goes down, but at first I was like, why doesn't he just tell people? Like, that person should be beaten and thrown. I'm like, I would. People are going to want to know in his book. That's a good way to do
You
it.
make some cash.
Bobby Lee told me a story of like he got invited. It was the end of a night, and he got invited to like Tom Cruise was having a party. And he goes, and he named like two other famous people that were going to be there. Maybe it wasn't Vince Vaughn that was going to take him, but somebody sort of famous was going to take him. And he was like, "No, I'm not going." And it's like, "Well, couldn't it have helped your career?" He goes, "Yeah, but What if it was that one time where they say, okay, here's how it's going to work. You're going to blow all of us. But you're going to be a massive superstar within 2 years' time. Okay,
I'm not ready for that yet.
So he goes, I don't know what I would decide. I don't want to be put in that position.
So you leave. He just didn't go.
I'm just not going to the party.
Oh, that's funny.
There's a reason you're here. The reason you're in the hot tub with us right now.
That's good. That's good.
I'm taking my Jack Wagner back.
You're taking it back?
I'm going to be thinking this, and then I'm going to call you guys, and you're like, yeah, the podcast is over. We don't give a fuck.
Jack
How would
Wagner's
people
not.
start this rumor for each or every one of us?
Do we start 3 separate rumors and just let them?
3 separate rumors.
And almost like
Tina
3
Yothers?
rumors. It's
Do you
a
want to keep
race.
doing Tina Yothers, or do you want to
Fuck yeah.
do something different?
Would people know that?
No, start a different rumor. We'll start 3 different rumors and see which one.
Well, here's the rumor I've wanted to start it for a while.
Okay.
Oh, you've already got one.
And you have to help me with this. Because I tried it a few times and it's never really got going.
I'll put it out to my.
You got to help me because I forgot the girl's name.
Oh.
She was. Do you ever see the movie Bully?
Oh God. Well, how old?
Yeah,
is
with Jim Belushi.
No.
How old is Bully?
Bully's about 8, 9, 10 years old.
No, I mean the movie. When did it come out?
Oh, with Tim Allen?
10 years ago? No.
There's. I'm thinking of My Bodyguard.
No. That was with Whitney Houston?
No. That's you go earlier. That's the guy
I got to find this now because I got to find her name.
who hires the bodyguard and you build the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Dude, you should watch
That's a
that
good
one.
one. That's
You're
a good
watching old movies. All right, you should watch
My Bodyguard.
My Bodyguard.
It was
My
before
Body-
Whitney
is that with
Houston.
Whitney Houston?
No,
No.
Whitney Houston. That was just called Bodyguard.
Which one's My Bodyguard?
Oh, it's so good.
Is that with
It's
who's
it's
in
a
that?
guy who gets beat up in school, and you'll recognize the guy who plays the bully because he's really
been-
famous now.
yeah, very famous.
And then he hires this big-looking Tate Fletcher-looking guy,
To
or
just-
is the bad guy.
Yeah.
Tate's a MMA fighter, friend of ours,
To
and
beat
he
the crap out
hires
of
this guy
people.
to protect him.
Yeah.
And it's just that.
I remember
whole
seeing when I was
it's like
a
teen
kid
movie.
going like, "Oh, I'd love to have one of those."
Yeah, it's
Really?
really good, but
Yeah.
it's set in the 70s,
Yeah,
and it just
it's-
has this. It's a really
70s.
good movie.
That's
dude.
why I was asking how old is it, because that's
Okay.
what I was thinking of. It's from the 70s, but that's not what you're talking about.
No, okay.
Bully
This Bully is 2001.
2001.
Brad Renfro, Nick Stahl, Bijou Phillips.
So Bijou Phillips is who you're thinking of.
Yes, Bijou Phillips is who I was thinking of.
What does she look like? Can I
There's
see it?
other people.
Now, is she kin to Carney Wilson or the Wilson Phillips
No, I don't
clan
think so.
somehow?
Maybe, but I don't think
think
so.
she might be, actually. Because I've
Really?
heard her on Howard Stern. I think.
Oh, maybe.
I think she's,
She's a hot chick.
yeah,
But she's
cute.
like a weirdo-looking hot chick.
Yeah, she's-
She- in that she plays a dirty whore.
Nice.
That chick gets raped,
Okay.
though.
And Bully?
Yes.
Nice.
It's
Okay.
really great.
What are we gonna
It's a really
start?
good movie.
She was in Playboy, too.
So here's what I've been trying to start because she's a so-so celebrity. She comes up once in a while,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm assuming her career is going to keep going. Hopefully, she's done stuff. She was in Almost Famous. Jesus, she's been in stuff.
Yeah, she's had a
Hostel
good
Part
career.
2. Okay. Bijou Phillips has swamp pussy.
What does that mean?
It means it smells horrible.
Okay.
It smells horrible.
And it's hot and there's flies.
And all the time.
Mosquitoes.
Been known. Yeah. It's just a gross. That's what I've wanted to start for so long.
All right.
But can people, please, when she comes up, please just say, "Oh, Bijou Phillips." You know she.
I will
she got
put
swamp
that. I
pussy.
will make this promise to you. I will put that out on my @John Reep Twitter account. I will say,
Thank you.
so good having Ari Shaffir @Ari Shaffir on the podcast tonight. Can't believe he actually had sex with Bijou Phillips, who also happens to have swamp pussy.
Oh.
I might go swamp vagina.
But I'm not saying I had sex with her. I'm just saying
Oh,
like, it's
oh.
just a known thing.
Oh,
a rumor
well,
in
you just
general
want to start
to
something
start.
negative about her.
Not. Yes, it's negative. Yes, that was the
I
rumor I wanted to
thought
start.
you wanted to have something in like you
No,
went down
yeah.
there and then you smelled the swamp pussy.
No, I should
You don't
get
want to
that.
have firsthand experience of this. You just want to start it about her.
Yeah, that was always my goal. It was from
okay.
like 8, 9 years ago. I don't know why.
Just her.
I heard Bijou Phillips has swamp pussy.
Keep
It's
saying
just like
it.
the rumor about Jamie Lee Curtis is part man, part woman. Remember, she has an extra chromosome. I know you've heard that.
Yes. Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
guys have heard
That
She's
was
hermaphrodite.
a while back. Yeah.
But everyone swore to it.
What else when
Bijou
we had?
Phillips has swamp
It's like
pussy.
when you think of Richard Gere, what do you think of immediately?
The gerbil.
Exactly.
What, Rod Stewart? Were you guys?
So
young
you want
for
when
this?
people say Bijou Phillips, you want to think immediately swamp
pussy.
pussy.
I want you thinking of swamp pussy.
I
I'm
know.
talking about it. Yeah.
Or we
Sorry.
create this. You do
Don't
that.
say where you got it from.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Or we create urban legends because I haven't heard a new one in a while. Like
Bijou, if you're listening to this,
She ain't listening to this. I'm
is-
sorry. If you're listening to this,
true.
I'm really sorry. If it caused you any pain, but this is your name.
this is a fun game we play.
Yeah.
Our
It's
urban
nothing
legend
about
growing
you, though.
up was Kiss killed
Wash your
Mikey, because Mikey saw Kiss without the makeup on. There, I just ate the Mikey. I'll eat it. Mikey likes it.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
that
Mikey,
guy.
he likes it.
So Rod Stewart had a gallon of sperm in his stomach.
Right.
Rod Stewart had a gallon.
I've heard that one.
Remember that?
He had to have his stomach pumped.
Well, I've heard that one
Yes.
before. Yeah.
A gallon of sperm.
Gallon.
We were like,
I heard
it's
Bon
definitely
Jovi
true.
had AIDS.
Who did?
Bon Jovi.
Oh.
But this is way back then.
And then, the ones you guys just said, Gerbo, whatever.
Richard
But
Gere,
I haven't
Gerbo.
heard any new ones of those. So maybe we should just start one.
Start a new one, huh?
It doesn't have to be
the
like
one.
so-and-so's pussy, but it could be just like a thing. Like, did you know that?
The problem is now IMDb will just ruin most rumors like that.
Or Wikipedia.
Gerbil and stuff. But this guy became that guy? It just gets
I hate to do this to Eric Stoltz. I hate, seems like a nice guy.
But if you say something like roommate, then it could work.
John might be our only hope of starting one, because we'll start the Eric Stokes was his roommate, and then you're going to say something not shitty,
Right.
but almost just kind of like unprovable.
Right.
Yeah.
How something like Eric Stoltz never washed his hands after using the bathroom. No, it's got to be worse. It's got to be worse.
Like he did something.
Someone bigger than Eric Stoltz.
Yeah.
As a roommate, though, then I'm
Yeah.
not going
They
to.
have to have become bigger now. Maybe they became big within the last 3 or 4 years. So he could have been his roommate when he moved out to L.A. 12 years ago.
The
Whatever.
dude who played Dexter, what's his name?
There you go, Michael C. Hall.
Michael C. Hall, who is from Raleigh, North Carolina.
You could have been roommates in college.
Yeah.
Or in high school, something happened. Go high school.
We got in a
'Cause
fight. I lived in Raleigh for a while. He lived in Raleigh for a while I was going to school there.
Yeah.
We were tailgating at a football game.
Yeah.
And he snuck beer from my cooler, and he was skinny back then.
Oh, really?
Yeah, now he's not. And so, I confronted him about, hey, dude, that's my cooler. You can't. He goes, and he said, fuck you, faggot. And
What?
He called me a faggot.
Whoa.
I know.
He went on to play a gay guy later.
How ironic
That's
is that?
what you were, yeah, okay.
Which just makes it so much weirder that he would have said that. And so I slugged him.
What happened?
I hit him in the face, and we
Fight back?
fell. He swung back and missed. I tackled him. We're on the ground. We're scrapping for a while. He ripped my shirt off. I remember that clearly.
Really?
Ripped my shirt off
What
of
the
me.
fuck? What'd your buddies do?
Oh well, I was winning, so they were just kind of watching.
Okay.
He was rogue. I didn't think he had any friends. He just came in and tried to take a beer. It's kind of ballsy.
Whoa, that's so weird.
And then we scrapped for a while, and then then strangers came by and pulled me off.
And he wasn't big back then?
No, he's not that tall to begin with, but back then he wasn't bulked up yet. He was just a skinny little dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You know, another one
What's
we could
his
start?
real name? What's his real name?
Michael C. Hall.
Michael C. Hall, yeah.
We
Yeah.
could start. So-and-so
Did
doesn't.
somebody take that out of context? If somebody wants to edit that out of context, just that clip of Reep saying that.
And now he's killing
no
people
setup.
on HBO or
Yeah.
Showtime.
You could also go the route of Reep or Ari. They don't really need to work. Their family did this.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, do you know that
Yeah.
clear stuff that you put on iPhones and stuff that makes
Yeah.
it so you can't scratch?
Mm-hmm.
That's Ari's actually family.
We actually knew the guy whose father invented Gatorade. He was a comic for a little while. This is not a lie.
From Florida. From Florida.
Yeah, so
What?
is
From
that
Florida.
From Florida. He was in
Because
Florida.
it helped
Florida.
the
Yes,
Florida Gators.
Yes.
That's why it was invented.
He's like a
But you
scientist.
could also do
I
that.
could be lying, but I'm not lying.
Yeah, like a Gatorade.
I don't know.
I'm
You're
not
good.
gonna
We're
say-
like,
I'll
yeah,
tell it to
you
after.
invented
I don't really want
Gatorade.
fucking people knowing he's an heir to fucking billions.
I can't trust you anymore.
No,
I
I know.
totally believe your
Yeah,
Tina
you don't know.
Yothers story.
This is the problem. This is the modern day Boy Who Cried Wolf.
All right, so what do we do now?
I think I'm actually going to split this into two episodes because it is so different from start to
I know, it's totally different.
Can I say what we did?
We should
in between?
take breaks more often.
Can I say what we did in between?
Sure.
We smoked some pot in between. We took a quick pee break, and then after we came back, that was.
And then we
now
got
high.
on this tangent.
Yeah, and I just came off a pot fast for 13 days, so
That's right. You weren't smoking for 13 days.
So I'm pretty high.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, didn't you have a date, or you can't talk about it, or
No,
you can talk about it?
No, I got high with the girl.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the thing
cool.
that he said. Can we talk about it? And then he said, no, let's not.
Well, I had to make sure. Oh, the wife's calling.
It's okay.
Uh-oh.
She's tracked me.
Guys, I'm starving though.
Okay, yeah, let's go eat.
Let's go eat.
Well, thank you very much for being on Ari Shaffir Skeptic Tank.
Wait, let's do it this way. You
Okay,
say
what?
thank you for being on ours, and we'll say thank you for being on yours.
Yeah, that's what I was planning.
Oh, go ahead. But you said Skeptic Tank.
Yeah, you
I
say.
should thank you for. Well, say that. Sorry, back up.
You
it
say
again.
thank you for being on last podcasting. And I'll
Oh.
say and thank you for being on the Skeptic Tank.
Oh, that's not a bad
Now,
idea.
did we do your show like good enough where it was?
We did. Here's what I already thought.
You
about
have nice themes in your shows. Where I like about your shows is you have the guests coming on. You talk about a specific thing. So as
Yeah.
a listener, you go, okay, it's not all over the board. This is some really, I like it. That's why I like it.
This is smart because
It's
before you download it, you know kind of what the theme is.
Hey, I'm either into that
but
or I'm not
you might
into that.
Some people are like, oh, I'm not dealing with that theme. It's stupid. And you're like, no, we had a really it's mostly comics. We have really funny conversations. But
Did
But
this
it's also
one
smart because instead of going like episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's like, oh, what was 4? Was that they were talking about?
Yeah,
no,
somebody told me on
like,
Twitter, like people can say like they can call it by the name of the podcast.
Yeah,
you know,
that's smart.
were we too all over the place? Did we dumb your podcast down?
No. Well, here's what I realized when we came back. We the first part before we left was all the Last Comic Standing stuff.
Yeah.
We learned a little about that.
A lot,
whatever.
yeah.
And that's when I have cleared linear topics. Sometimes afterwards, I just meander for like 45 minutes.
Right.
It's like, what can you do? But sometimes the topic stays so like together when you meander that you can split it up. So I think I'm going to split this up.
Nice.
And just do like remember the 80s.
Our random lies.
And random
Do we
lies.
want to leave it on? Do we have good enough established lies? Because
Are
I don't
we
know.
trying to get listeners to help us, or are we just wanting to do
mean?
this
I think
on our
we
own?
need to figure out a better. We
My
need
thing
to
is
brainstorm.
I'm definitely asking everyone to spread the swamp pussy thing.
Okay, that's Ari's.
Okay, that's ours. We need one
You
more
don't say,
other one.
You don't say where you got it from. Just
Yeah,
fucking
that's-
put it because then people might know. But just start saying it.
Right.
And even if people don't, they'll be like, "What's going on?" Suddenly, everyone's saying Bijou Phillips has swamp pussy.
Hashtag Bijou.
Hashtag the shit out of it.
Hashtag swamp pussy.
Bijou Phillips has swamp pussy. That'd be a good one. Bijou, how many?
What if that started trending a month from now?
Bijou Phillips
You're
has
just-
swamp pussy. There's so many characters.
Can't we pick like the three of us pick like a AAA baseball team and then go to their Wikipedia and change it saying we are owners?
That we own it.
Yeah.
Okay, Hickory Crawdads.
What?
The Hickory Crawdads.
Hickory Crawdads.
It's a baseball team.
Is that
in
that's
Hickory.
not good enough. No one will give a shit about. We need to think of. Maybe we'll just have to have people tweet like.
Some good ideas.
Yeah, I wanted to
yeah.
leave on a good like one big. Oh, that'll be a good one to start. And I'm not feeling we have that, but we can.
Okay.
And we have Ari's.
I'm not giving up on that.
Yeah, no, that's Ari.
down.
Unless you just want to do that guy
We
was
could
your
add another one.
ex-roommate. Or do we want a non-tangible...
Why don't you guys take some suggestions for a week?
All right, let's take some suggestions. Hit us at Last Podcasting with good ideas of fake rumors.
We want to
And
start
gossip
new
to start.
urban legends.
New urban legends.
Yeah, they've done too many movies about all the other ones, so we have to start a new one.
We'll pick one out of all the tweets we get, and you and I will just go.
And we're
with
going to make it, and we'll go online, and we'll do we'll literally start it. I would have to say the less sexual, because we have always going out there, the more
Better.
something that's
Yeah, you
kind of
wanna go-
believable,
Yeah, you want it almost
I
repeated
could
to
see
see
you
if it
being
could
an
make
owner
it
of a
on.
minor league baseball team.
especially in Hickory.
Yeah, especially there.
Yeah.
Where it's like you've made some money, people don't really realize.
Like a part owner. I don't own it outright.
Right. You bought it, right?
Yeah, I've got like 30%.
A minority owner.
Thank you.
Which, by the way, if they hear this, they're gonna be like, "Hey," they're gonna call you like, "You totally want to do that."
Like, are you serious?
Right.
Can you guys please?
John, you can have it for $10. No one comes to the games.
You get more people when you're showing at Charlie Goodnight's than you do that actually show up to watch the baseball team.
It's less valuable than a house in Detroit. Please just buy some of us.
We
All
could
right.
start somebody killed somebody. We could go one of us.
What if it killed somebody?
Self-defense, hit somebody with a bowling pin.
One of us killed a guy?
Too bad energy.
My wife just vetoed that. You could do that one, John. I can't do that.
No, I don't want to do that.
I don't
I like
hurt anybody.
they don't need the money because their family's rich.
Yeah, that's not a bad one.
That is
You
a
just
good
got to
one.
figure what the thing is somebody invented.
Yeah.
Like the...
Okay, so that's the challenge.
That's okay.
Send us
there's somewhere
your
in that-
idea at Last
That was
Podcasting,
Cliff Bars.
and
have
hopefully
to
we'll
find
pick a
it
good
Uno.
one out, and we'll get behind it, and we'll let you know.
He sold Uno to Milton Bradley. He remembers the call when he came in. He was over there.
Okay, well, then we're going to wrap it up on that, and I'm John Reep. Thank you for listening to another episode of Skeptic Tank.
And no, actually, I want to thank you guys, John Reep and John Heffron, for listening to another episode of Last Podcasting.
You're certainly welcome. This was great. Maybe if this takes off, we'll do more of this, and we'll get
They
like
used to do this
Mark
in the
Meriden
70s,
here,
didn't they?
and we'll just have everybody do one
Didn't
together.
they used to have that in the 70s, like TV shows? Like they do guest stars, the crossover shit, right?
Oh, a
They did a
crossover.
Law and Order and Homicide, where they started on one show and ended on the other.
How about
Nice.
this? Here's what we do next time real quick. We have a bell, and
Yeah.
every time we ding it,
Yeah.
we flip the other person's
Flip,
show.
the other person gets
And we have to
control.
continue the conversation that's going on. It's doable.
Okay. I like
Maybe
it.
not enjoyable.
It's doable.
Maybe not entertainable.
Jetta, you can ring the bell. Okay.
Perfect.
All right. So is this where your theme music starts up, or
where I put the music in?
And this is
right about here
ours
is where
going
we
right
would
now?
end ours.
So check us out.
It's
we're done?
playing right now.
Oh,
where
the music's playing.
now this is turned into the Bob and Doug McKenzie album.
Well, I'm just going to say bicycle, and I'm done. Bicycle.
Go to heffronandreep.com for tour dates and great links. Hey, did you get that? It's heffronandreep.com. Go there now.